All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another fantastic episode of the Livewell. This is episode 7, as Paul says, and we got two great guests, and we're going to get to them in just a moment. Well, we got Beasley. He's here. Beasley, he's a good sport. We like him.
What's up, Kurt?
Got Kurt Weehunt already, Kevin already on board. So, guys, I know you'll keep on. We'll keep on getting some more and more people. So, text your friends, and text your brother, and text your sister, and text your mom and dad, and everybody else, and say you need to get on Facebook or on YouTube, and you need to come watch the Livewell tonight live. And speaking of Facebook, we're gonna go ahead and throw it out there. Paul, you ready to type it up? Go to www.streamyard.com/Facebook. Go ahead and register your name now if you haven't ever done it before. So that way when you comment on Facebook, we see your name. And so that will help us. We will try to do it again later. I'll try to make comment of it again. Brett's going to help. Brett's on top of things. I'm going to tell you what. If he don't watch it, he's going to find himself a co-host job. No, the Falcons, absolutely not. We're far more entertaining. Falcons are hurt left and right, and it's not very good right now. So we're much more entertaining. Tonight's episode is going to be extremely entertaining. We're going to have a lot of fun, guys. So as promised, we try to bring you guys the best that we can bring. Sometimes it doesn't always work that way. But I can book it right now that these two fine gentlemen sitting across from me are going to bring it tonight, and this is going to be great. So, but we're going to take care of some business. Already. Yeah, what'd you say?
David Newcomb has jokes already.
David Newcomb, David Newcomb comes in, he's always got jokes. It's never fails. If David Newcomb doesn't come in with jokes, hell is freezing over. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you that's the way that it is if he don't have jokes. So, Coltrane Fishing, what's up? Good to see everybody. I know we already got 40-something viewers already. We're not even just a couple minutes into this. But let's take care of some business real quick because we have a lot of fishing to talk about tonight. So we're going to try to hurry it up and get it going. So this episode of the Livewell brought to you by those fine folks at Nofo Brew Company. We'll get it up in the camera. As always, Nofo Brew Company. Go check them out, guys. As college football season's winding down, they're always having watch parties, and then they're always having some they're having some fun little stuff that they got going on that they've been posting on Instagram and stuff that they're doing. They got the fires lit out there on the patio, and I think Paul, I don't know, they're playing like cornhole and trivia night. I mean, they're having a lot of kinds of stuff here now as we're getting close to Thanksgiving. We got to get through Thanksgiving before we get to Christmas. We have to. That's my rule. My wife already decorated the tree and everything in the living room already. I come home, fish tournament last Saturday, and I said, what? So here we go.
She's in the spirit.
She's already in the spirit.
By the way, happy anniversary.
I appreciate it. I had that wrote down. I was going to say happy anniversary to my wife. She's put up with me for 4 years.
You can do that. It's a good time to do that.
I don't know if she's watching or not, but baby, I love you. I appreciate everything that you do, and I ain't scared to say, baby.
That's right.
I love you, and you mean more to me than anything. Wouldn't be able to do anything without you. Business is aside, guys. We're going to talk about the Nathan Hurd raffle and stuff here at the 1 hour mark. I got a lot of stuff I got to go over. As Danny posted today in the group, I got an updated list of who's leading all the guide trip bids right now. And we're going to go through that. I think Danny's going to repost it again tomorrow. Yeah, they got a hella food truck too. Yeah, they always have some kind of food truck out there too at Nofo. So it's always they got a lot of things going on. But we're gonna I'll update all of you guys later. The bidding was fast and furious, and then it stopped. So we're going to remind everybody. I know it's probably got buried down in the page because
Paul Marks Jr. is going to catch all.
Yeah, Jesse Millsaps and Paul Marks Jr. out there are going to catch all the fish in Lake Lanier. So you guys, one of y'all needs to step up and outbid Jesse on this thing. So to go with Paul, but Paul, if he's watching, we love you. He's a great guy, a great young man, fine young man.
Absolutely,
and he is going to be a great. I know he's going to be pro. I mean, can we just go ahead and say it? I mean,
there's no doubt in my mind.
He's going to be pro. I think he's really going to be pro. Have you met?
I don't think I've met him yet.
Jeff will meet. You will meet him.
I'm sure I will.
If you see a phoenix with white phoenix out there with he's got poles, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he's got poles and a Mercury, and he's out there looking at graph and stuff like that, and then looking up there. He's looking at his graph and then looking up there. That's Paul, and he's got some long wavy locks. I think he's got some long blonde locks, and he's got this cool. He's actually got your mustache.
Nice.
And your beard. So, yeah, he's actually got that going
already.
on. Yeah, he likes, yeah. So, y'all two get along really well.
Paul's a cool cat.
Paul is cool, and his daddy's great. All those guys down there at OBT. Real quick, just want to, before we get into this, and we're going to start talking fishing real quick. I built an order for Hammonds this week. I built an order for Buford Dam and Tackle. So, here by next week, guys, you'll be able to go to those fine establishments along with Oakwood Bait and Tackle and pick up your True Grit tackle jigs. Go get them. They're the best jigs ever made. I tie them all. I tie them all.
I seen it.
Yeah, I tie them all, dude. I put a lot of work into them.
Yep.
A lot of fine attention to detail that I try to do. I take a lot of pride in what I make. So, without further ado, get that True Grit thing off the screen. We're done. Let's talk fishing. To my right, straight across. Yeah, well, I just lost all sense of direction.
You were looking in there.
I was looking that way. I lost all sense of direction.
It's backwards on camera.
In the chair of honor, as you know, this is the chair of honor. We have Jeff Neal, aka J-2 on here. Is that right? J-2 on here. Yes. J-2. So we have an honorable off the phone, and I said the honorable sheriff of Lanier was with the mayor of Lanier. So we got Brett Matthews in the house. I know a lot of you guys know him. He's got this fine jersey on that has True Grit tackle right across his belly. We gotta get him on board.
I plan.
Just a little fun fact. I made Jeff some jigs today, so he's got True Grit in his boat now. He'll have True Grit in his boat. So, without further ado, though,
that's how you make a believer, isn't it?
That's right.
Put it in their hands.
You put it in their hand, they gotta throw it, and then you catch fish on it, guaranteed. Without further ado, Mr. Jeff Neal, and you have came back here. And you started guiding. Let's just talk about basically for those people who do not know, because I don't know everything about you by no means either. But
I don't know everything about me.
Well, why don't you just start where all this started, where you been?
So I did a 20-year stint in the Army, and then 8 of that years was up in Dahlonega at the Ranger Camp in Dahlonega. So I did 2 tours there, 4 years apart.
Thank you for our service, guys.
And that's kind of where I got in my start on Lanier. I grew up in South Georgia, bass fishing, small backwater rivers and creeks and farm ponds and stuff like that. And I had probably a 3-acre pond in my backyard, and pretty much every single day you could see me out trying to catch a fish in the backyard. So I kind of got away from fishing a little bit in college. Imagine that. You go to college and you enjoy the college life, and you kind of get away. And then when I decided to re-enlist in the Army, I got back into fishing, and it's been downhill ever since. I guess you could say downhill or uphill, depending on how you want to look at it.
Came in like a wrecking ball.
I did.
Yeah.
It started off with one trip to Bass Pro and a couple rods, and 3 years later I had a 21-foot, I like to call it a 21-foot tackle box.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it was full shortly thereafter. So that's how it goes.
So that's.
But it's not an addiction.
No, not at all.
It is not. If you have to call it an addiction, it is the most healthy addiction that you can possibly get a hold of. I will say that. Fishing is the ultimate drug. I don't really like to say that tug is my drug because I see stuff like that all the time. But fishing in general is a drug, and it is a great addiction. So you already got a couple guys saying thank you for your service. I guess the Marble Hill internet is going in and out, so we'll have to just deal with it for a little bit. So you went and done that, and then 20 years. 20
years. So I guess it was around 2017. Brett, was when I moved. So I spent a couple years up in Fort Campbell, So I got to fish Lake Barkley, Lake Kentucky, and I went down to Old Hickory a few times and fished that, and that was good. But the Army decided to send me to El Paso for 3 years. Not a lot of bass fishing in El Paso. So I kind of had a little hiatus when I was out there, did some other stuff. And then I retired, went to law school for a year. And then my son, who stayed here in Cumming, had a really bad year last year. So in order to help prevent that from happening again, I put law school on hold and decided to come back to Georgia. And there was no me coming back to Atlanta without getting back into fishing. So here I am. I had the opportunity to work, go to work with Jimbo and guide some, and it gives me the flexibility to be with my son and do what I need to do, and then also do something I enjoy doing at the same time.
Well, that's a good thing. Family first, as always. For any of you guys out there watching, remember family first. That's the most important thing. If you don't got your family, what do you have?
Yeah.
That's really and truly what it is. So, let's talk about that, though. You talked about Jimbo. How's that relationship been so far? Because you've been doing it for a couple months now, I guess.
Yes.
Now, how's that thing? Because Jimbo, everybody knows Jimbo. Everybody knows Jimbo on Lanier. You got a great reputation. He's been guiding for, I don't know.
About 11 years, I think.
Yeah, I would say, yeah. I was
12
going to
years.
say about 15 years, but that's 12 years, 11 years. Yeah. So how's that been?
It's great. I mean, for me personally, Jimbo is one of those guys. I would call he's a trifecta. As adults, we have friends, we have confidants, we have mentors.
Right.
Not always do we have all three in one person.
Yeah.
And I would say with Jimbo, for me personally, he's all three rolled up into one for me personally. I've known him since early 2011. We developed a friendship over the years, and I can tell some pretty funny stories about that over the course of the time. But yeah, when he heard I was coming back, and he's like, it was kind of like an off the cuff comment. He's like, "Well, would you like to do this?" And I didn't think about it. I had a whole lot going on, and I called him about 3 weeks later. I'm like, "Are you serious?" He goes, "I'm dead serious." I'm like, "All right, that'll work." So,
Yeah.
and then it was the wheels went in motion, and they were we probably started this planning process for this back in June, I would say, is when we started putting all the.
So this came on pretty quick.
Yeah, no, I mean, we did it in about 6 months from the time. I mean, when I decided I was moving, I mean, we were gone very quickly.
Yeah.
It was not we did not mess around, and it was, my wife checked with her office, and they're like, "Yeah, you can work remote," and we're like, "We're gone." And the only downside is trying to buy a house right now. That was a nightmare.
Well, that's
Selling was easy, buying not so much.
Selling is easy, buying not so much. That's definitely the factor right now when it comes to real estate at this moment. So,
Especially when you need one that'll hold a boat.
yeah, kind of important. You'd be like me, build a garage, put your boat in.
That was an option we looked at.
That's what I had to do. So, got a couple. We'll go back here. Look at some of the comments. Let's see here. Cool. I grew up on Old Hickory every summer. That's Kurt. Braves are the 2021 World Series champions, by the way, Kurt. Just want to remind you that. Congrats, Neil, on getting clean. As a former drug addict in my younger days, my wife said she'd rather me be addicted to fishing. Absolutely, and that's a good thing that you've turned it around, and that's a wonderful thing that you can be able to say that you've come out of that, and now you get to fish. So trade one addiction for an even better addiction, that's for sure. Cole Wilson says, "So what's up, guys? How's the fishing
Cole?
on Lanier? Been finally home for a while and ready to hit the lake." So let's just go ahead and start jumping into that.
That we're good.
How have you been? I don't know. You're a guide, so I guess however you really want to answer the question. How's things been for you the past couple of weeks, particularly?
For me, it has been really good.
Yeah.
Or really bad. And there has not been a lot of in between. Either I have spurs of moments where it is absolutely makes the other 6 hours of the day worth it for the 2 hours that I'm whacking them, or I sit there and scratch my head and look around and try to figure out what's going on. But pretty much every day I've had at least an hour or two frenzy where it has made the other hours well worth it when I've stumbled across them, and it's been good. And it's gotten better every day.
That is typical of this time of year. It hasn't got quite cold enough yet for everything to really be, the wheels really to be rolling the way that, the ditch bite in particular gets picked up. They're there, but they're not everywhere.
Right.
And we can all agree on that right now.
Yeah.
There are some that already have some. Mr. Beasley was talking about some that he caught, and I was talking about how he had found some, but then in some other places he couldn't find them, and he couldn't get bit. We fished a tournament Saturday. I found 6 out of about 20 ditches that they're actually willing to bite in. And I pretty much threw one bait all day long. I didn't throw anything else. I was catching them from the morning till right up to the end of the tournament. That's one of the awesome things about this time of year. I'm not trying to like toot my own horn or anything, but the first ditch that I went into, the first creek that I went into Saturday, and I already told all you guys this, in 7 casts I had a limit. So that's the way that you kind of really want things to be this time of year, to where it doesn't really take, shall we say it as it doesn't take that much effort, really, is what we'll say. I mean, it's always effort to catch fish, don't get me wrong, but when you can just pull into the back of a ditch and they're there, and all you got to do is throw at them and reel something back,
Right.
and they bite, it's pretty easy.
Right.
I mean, there's really not a whole lot more. It's not as complex as some people make it out to
But that's
be.
always great when you have to work that day and you
Yeah.
only have to like 9 in the morning.
Right.
That makes for a great morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go to the lake, fish for about 2 hours, load the boat, and then take the boat out,
Take a shower.
take a shower, go to work, and then come
Bada
back.
bing.
And in Brett Matthews' case, in the bed, lights off, 7:30.
You guys are privileged. I'm
We've
usually
got him up way past his
I'm
bedtime
usually
tonight.
asleep by now.
Yeah, so a little fun story real quick. So I texted Brett and I was like, dude, I'm starving. I was like, I want something to eat. Can you bring me something? He was like, yeah. He's like, I don't really know what all is open right now, though. He's like, normally I'm already asleep. I was
Restaurants are still open at 8 o'clock?
surely they're still, yeah, exactly. That's what he said. He's like, restaurants are still open at 8 o'clock. I was like, yeah, come on, dude. Like, they can't be closed. Find me something, please. So, but Brett, shout out to Brett. I'll give him that. He brought me some food.
And Jeff.
And Jeff. So both of y'all did.
We came together, yeah.
Y'all came together, both of y'all. So thank y'all for bringing me some food.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
I didn't want you to
Appreciate
go
it.
hungry,
I'm
man.
starving to death,
Yeah.
man. So anyway,
Danny's a slave driver. He keeps you here all day.
well, yeah, well, Danny might be watching because he told me he was gonna be watching. So Danny, we love you. We miss you. Wish you were here.
He ain't watching.
He ain't watching. He's he should be packaging up Buford, putting UPC codes on the back, but we won't get that deep into it. So going forward, here we're a week from Thanksgiving actually. Today is 1 week from Thanksgiving. Going forward, what are you kind of predicting, and what are you kind of going to be looking for? And both of you guys can answer this question.
For me, I would say I will be going towards the backs of some of the ditches. I seem to catch more earlier in the morning in the backside, and then I'm a rocks and docks person in the wintertime. I enjoy fishing jigs on rocks and docks and call it a day. So I will definitely do that some. Don't get me wrong, I will do spoons and I'll do other things depending on the day, but I will enjoy. If it gets difficult, I will be on rocks and docks and later on in the winter. That and a crankbait in the very back of ditches.
Throwing out some luscious info there about the crankbait in the backs of the ditches. Yeah. So
No,
nug, yeah, we got a nug. That's what we like to call them. We call them nugs. So, what about you? What are you looking for?
In the wintertime, many times I've got a Ned rig in my hand. I've got a shaky head and a crankbait in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And a kayak.
Yeah.
A lot of times.
Okay.
But I like to fish rock
Yeah.
in the wintertime, and I like ditches. Really, really enjoying learning the ditch bite the last few years. So
Right. So you're gonna stick like what me and Jeff would do. We're gonna keep moving. We're gonna kind of be looking early in the morning,
Yeah.
throwing moving baits, trying to find where they're stacked up, where there's some big girls are.
Yeah.
So you're gonna be doing that, but you're gonna be doing it more from a finesse approach to a certain extent, correct?
yeah, I mean, tournament fishing, as much as I have been doing,
Yeah.
you got to look at it differently. I'm not looking for numbers.
Right.
And a lot of times if you pull up and you're catching 2 or 3 pound-and-a-half 2-pounders, you need to leave.
Right.
Unless you're fun fishing. But
Right.
I fun fish every day.
That's right.
He fun fishes
I don't
every day.
discriminate.
That's right.
If they're going to bite, I'm going to catch them.
Sometimes
I'm not leaving either.
Some days I don't discriminate either. Some days this time of year, I'll see how many we can catch. Ned Rig has been fire. So let's go back up through here. Let's read a couple of the comments and answer any questions that we
I
got.
saw those pictures today.
Yeah.
Epic boy.
We've seen him. He's got a good social media presence.
There's Steve. What's up, Steve?
Steve
Oh,
Pinkston.
God.
Somebody mentioned big girls. Oh yeah, Steve.
Oh, boy.
Whenever big girls
Here
are
we go.
mentioned, Steve's
Oh,
ready.
yeah.
Steve is
Ham
ready.
sandwich.
Do you know Steve?
I don't think so, no.
Okay, so I always say this because I got to talk about this all the time. Steve Pinkston is the owner of Sugar Hill Bake
That's who I
Company.
stayed with at the.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's
Oh, God.
that's actually who took the picture of you that you put, right? Steve did.
Yeah.
So Steve, believe this or not, Steve is still the undisputed big spot heavyweight champion of Clark Hill
Yeah.
with a 4-pound 8-ouncer.
I have a feeling that weight will not stand for too many more years.
I don't think it
'Cause the
will
hair-
either.
the
I
hair-
think it's
Yeah.
already been. I think it's already been broke,
Yeah,
but people didn't
yeah.
realize.
Yeah,
Oh
they-
yeah.
It's a compound.
Oh yeah. The,
I mean, no
the
offense,
record's
but-
probably like 5 something.
No
so-
offense, but spots are growing,
Yeah.
and they're growing. Any lake with bluebacks, they're going to get bigger.
They're gonna get
and-
fat.
and they're aggressive, and they're going to. They're going to grow.
It's like It's like opening the door to Golden Corral. Show me the chicken. I'm there.
Yeah.
Chicken, mashed potatoes, and macaroni, and I will reload my plate about 4 times. The same thing over and over again because I'm lame. But good to see you, Farmer. What's up, man? Blue Ridge fishing was good. Starting to turn over. Already starting to turn over. I figured Blue Ridge would have already. They've been sucking Blue Ridge down
Yeah.
because they're going to be doing some repairs on the dam.
So that could affect it.
They're
And
pulling it, so that water's coming out of the bottom too.
yeah, so that water's
So
pulling out
that
the
may slow it
bottom. Yeah.
It doesn't have a chance to turn over.
No,
does
it'll
it?
slow it down a little bit.
They sluiced a bunch of water this year too.
Did they?
Yeah, during the summer they pulled a lot of water out.
Yeah, so that will have a lot to do with probably why it's just now starting. Lanier, I guess we could probably say conglomerately between. I don't know about Beasley,
Oh
but
my God.
I don't know if he could say. I guess conglomerately between us 4, Paul included. Lanier probably really started kind of kicking about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, the last week. It's gotten better in the last week.
Yeah.
The end of last week, I was out and I'm like, what in the? This is horrible.
Yeah,
Like it was like a mad dash to try to find something where I could see a foot in the water
right.
running all over the place, and then you'd find some here and some over there is bad. But this week it's cleared up a lot as the week's gone. I mean, I found water that's 3, almost 4 foot, 5 foot visibility today.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing to look up towards with the fishing. I know, not last weekend, but the week before last on Sunday, I fished Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And from Friday to Sunday, I literally watched the lake on the lower end of the lake.
Mm-hmm.
I literally watched it before my eyes.
And
in
there's
that
still some
3-day
of it.
period.
There's still some happening on the lower end. I found some
Yeah.
today that I went back in one creek today, and I was like, I was in there for probably 30 minutes. We started in the mouth of it, and it wasn't bad. And
Right.
as soon as I turned and went up into one of the arms, I got to looking around. The water was all foamy on top, and just
Right.
leaves were suspended about 6 inches under the top of the water, and
Yep.
you couldn't. I was like, no, we're out. I'm not messing with this stuff.
And I bet that creek didn't have any kind of water flow in the back of it, did it?
I didn't even go far enough back to see. I don't think so.
Typically, for any of you guys, we'll drop another nugget. Typically, this time of year when you're looking, if you find a creek that has some kind of like a small stream or a creek or anything that's like flowing into the back, it's got some water pushing out of it, you can go ahead and write those down and say that those will be the first ones to be fully turned over. They will turn over faster than some of the other ones that have a little bit more, I'm not going to necessarily say stagnant water, but
Well, they get an influx of cold water.
yes, exactly.
That's why the rivers do it first.
Right. That's why the chastity always typically does it before the hooch does, and then the hooch falls down. And about the same time, we were talking about this earlier. And for those of you who want a more detailed explanation into it, go check out Kevin Underwood at Lipsticker on his page. He wrote a real good write up talking about it, explaining it really
that was good.
for you to read. And Kevin knows his stuff. We're not, well, by the way, talking about Kevin, our hearts go out to Kevin. He dropped his number 2 cylinder the other day. So he's on the waiting list. Yeah, our hearts go out to Kevin. He lost his number 2 cylinder, blown power head, but hopefully he'll get it fixed and he'll get back out on the water pretty soon. He still has a couple months of warranty left, so
that's good.
hopefully it'll cover it.
Good luck getting
Yeah,
parts.
I won't be owning a boat without a warranty on the power head.
No.
Yeah.
My luck, I've had 2
No.
and popped 2, and it's not a matter
It's
of
going to happen.
And when they
They're all gonna pop.
do it. Just some of them doing it 200 hours, some of them doing it less, some of them doing it 1,500 hours. You know, it's just,
they're going to blow.
they're going to
She's
blow
wind.
eventually. They're all going to blow.
If you ran your car at 6,000 RPMs, you'd blow that motor too, wouldn't you?
Absolutely, you would. You absolutely would. So we want to just give a shout out to Kevin. We're thinking about you. Thoughts, prayers, love sent towards you, Kevin, if you're watching. I talked to him last night, and he was kind of like, I was like, you going to watch? I was like, we're going to have Jeff and Brett's going to be on. Yeah, man, I don't know. I really don't want to think about fishing right now. I said, "Oh, come on!" I said, "Even when you got a blown power head, I said you gotta think about fishing."
Yeah.
I said, "You got plenty of friends that'll take you."
Is he borrowing a boat right now, or what's he doing?
We didn't really talk that much into it. I think he's waiting to see what the mechanic is going to say.
And how quickly they
How
can get
quick
parts.
he can get ahead.
Yeah.
So, like anything else, though, if something bad happens, I went through it this past summer. I just had my cylinder head on my starboard side cracked, had a hairline crack. I tried to look for one. Well, I found them on the internet. Found them all different kinds of places. They're back ordered.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, I found a mechanic who had one laying on a motor, laying there in prime condition. He jerked that thing off of it, gave it to me, slapped that thing back up, and I was up and running.
How about that?
But it turned me into about a 8 to 10 week wait, and turned me into about 4 days and me not being able to go fishing, which was good. So
Yep.
when you can find little stuff like that, that's always a good thing. I know a lot of you guys probably know some people like that. There's a lot of them guys right around here that are really, really good mechanics, and they're always looking to help you out if they can. Let's see. Just want to say nice to meet you, and thanks for the free hats. Oh, so I guess you come in today and gave you 2 Georgia Blade hats. I didn't get your name. I totally forgot to ask what your name was, but I appreciate you coming to the store, and I appreciate you tuning in tonight to watch. Really appreciate it. And come back, bring your dad. Maybe Dad will find some time to go fishing, take you fishing. My dad said yesterday he saw some areas. Every time you do that, Paul, it knocks me off. My dad said yesterday he saw some areas look like it was turning over. Yeah, there's still plenty of areas. So what I was saying, not last Sunday, the Sunday before last. So Saturday it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
There were still some places. Sunday we ran down the lake and we got to 369. And we idled under the bridge at 369. And you looked over in the direction of Flat Creek and Bayless Creek, and you looked over in the direction of 2 Mile. The middle of the lake was clear. You could see from one end to the other of the lake. But when in terms of Flat Creek, Bayless Creek, and 2 Mile, right there where you can see at 369, you could cut the fog with a knife.
Wow.
And I immediately knew what that meant. I said, those 3 areas just right here in one day, they're turning over. I said, well, I'm going to go look. So I ran straight into 2 Mile, and I got right past Van's Tavern, right there where the choke point is in Van's Tavern.
It was Eugley.
And I turned around and looked at my motor, and it looked like a piss stream. We'll just put it to you like that, because the bubbles was just so bad. And I turned the boat around and we left. I said, "Yep." I said, "It's pretty much what I thought it was. It's already turning
A
over."
piss stream after a long night of drinking beer.
Exactly. It's exactly what it looked like. It was all bubbly and foamy.
Yeah.
And guys, for any of you who may not know, my kid's first word is going to be True Grit. I appreciate that. I'll take applications for being a godparent too, for anything like that. So I'm always open for it. But I lost my train of thought. That comment. I love when people say stuff like that to me. It's great. Me and Danny and Josh, we love it. We love seeing stuff like that. Falcons actually stopped Pats on first series. That is not going to last very long. And if it does last, call me shocked. But we're not talking about football. Y'all quit distracting us with football.
Fishing.
We're doing fishing. So, foaming water is, like I said, Jeff can probably, if you want to elaborate on it a little bit more, because we talked about this the other night. I said, I made the comment to Jeff. Me and him were texting. And I was like, I slept through chemistry class. I was like, who knew that my livelihood as I got older was going to depend upon chemistry? Being able to know what the water looks like, what the water composition is made of, water temperature, all this other kinds of stuff. And, I slept through chemistry class in high school. Barely passed. I actually still remember my grade. I made a 73.
Squeak by.
I squeaked.
3 points over overachieving.
3 points over overachieving. That's right. And I'm proud of it, dude.
Yeah. C's get degrees.
That's right. C's get degrees. Yeah. See, you don't got to make all A's. Unless you're Brett. If you're going to go in the water industry, you got to have a noggin. He's got a brain between his ears there.
Yeah, water treatment's a little bit technical.
A little bit technical.
Yeah.
But, you probably got some kind of gadgets and gizmos and stuff that tells you everything you need to know.
I rely on them heavily, yes.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. You probably got something to speak to you.
Software is a beautiful thing.
You probably got hooked up to your phone, don't you? And you're like, I don't know, the water is this. I don't know. So, but yeah, if you see foam, if you see like coffee cream colored looking water.
Yeah, I mean, it's real. It's not overly complicated. So
it's not.
Cold water is more dense than warm water.
Right.
So when the surface layer becomes more dense than the layer below it, it pushes down.
Mm-hmm.
And when it pushes down, it pushes the other water up. And
which is the turnover, which is the...
Correct, which is actually the mixing of the water and everything else. What's essentially happening is that top X number of feet, whatever it is above the thermocline, is now heavier than the water below it. And it pushes down.
Right.
And it literally will push anything that's below it, which is less dense, towards the top. It's like an oil and water. Oil and water don't mix.
Yeah.
Same exact thing. And then once they equilibrium out again, you're good.
And I'm glad he said it that way, because I've actually had some people actually ask me, so when you call it the turnover, well, the turnover is kind of... It's kind of just like this layman's term of what.
Yeah, it's not like a true flip.
Like
it pushes it up from the bottom, and that's why you get all the silt. That's why leaves will suspend.
Pieces of brush coming up, like
you'll get all the
stuff that's not attached to the bottom will come up.
Yeah,
really and truly, we call it the turnover. Really, what it's really called is like destratification. Correct.
Exactly.
That's really what the actual scientific term.
The thermocline's going away.
The thermocline is disappearing.
That's right.
And after everything settles, then we get from after that point until basically the water temperature, if it happens, until the water temperature drops below 40, where it's just fire.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's go anywhere, do anything, go everywhere. You find a bait, you find a fish, and they'll actively feed. Unlike in the summertime, they'll actively feed really multiple different times of the day.
Right.
You'll find some of those fish that feed late in the afternoon, and then they also feed very early in the morning. You'll find some of those fish that aren't really that active first thing in the morning, but from like 10 till like 2, it's fire. And if you can find the right wombo combo of morning fish transferring into midday fish and then transferring into evening fish, and it has one thing that a lot of people, I think, forget about. Once the turnover really kind of starts to settle in and it's over, the night bite, if you can grit your teeth, the night bite is fire. You can go out there and pretty much throw crankbaits and jerk baits and stuff like that at night and wear some big girls out. You really
that's always a plus when
you'll see the pictures on Facebook all winter long.
Yeah, that one thing, and I won't be scared to say it. For guys, for a long time, you always hear about that in that November, early December thing. Guys fishing for a couple hours after dark, throwing those long A bombers, catching striper, catching spots, catching largemouth. Doesn't matter. They're throwing those. And that's one. There's other baits, obviously, you can throw too, but that's one of the popular ones. Is that long A bomber?
Yeah.
It's got a big profile. It makes a lot of big vibration.
That's right. No lights required. Hey. Listen, Ron, stop. We don't care about the Falcons. I'm telling you right now. But I will read read what you said. On average, we all know that things are independent, but how long after the turnover will the fishing get back to normal? We were kind of elaborating to that. You want to answer that question?
I'll take a stab at it. Okay. It's starting to get that way some, but as the water stabilizes, the fish will stabilize and the fish will get back to water. It really depends more on weather than it does anything else. So one year it may do it in a couple weeks. One year it may take longer. As soon as the weather stops yo-yoing, and you get more consistent air temperatures in the day and the night, then you'll get more consistent water temperature, and then you'll start getting up and down, and the fish become more predictable at that point in time.
And I think we'll both agree on this, and Brett probably knows this as well. Eric, this might be a little news nugget to you here. This time of year, the women love it. Oh, it's going to be 71 on Wednesday, low of 55. For us bass fishermen, hate it.
Yes,
Messes it up.
It's going to be 70 something degrees and sunny. So really and truly, the surface temperature is actually going to get a little bit warmer than 71. Feel warmer than 71.
Yeah.
And that just kind of essentially is like a deer runs out in front of the road on you at night. You got to slam on your brakes.
Yeah.
And that's essentially basically what it does to the lake for about a day or two.
right.
Yeah.
And because it's not just this one day little thing where, oh, well, it's warm this day. No, it kind of actually has little lingering after effects for about another day.
Water
or
will
two.
hold heat.
It will.
So-
Especially water around rock
Yes.
this time of
Yeah.
year. Water around rock. If you'll notice that, if you'll notice that this time of year, you'll get bit on rock a lot, especially like midday. If we got a clear sunny day with some wind, and the wind's blowing straight up against those rock points or rock banks.
Oh, I had a good day like that earlier this week.
Why don't you elaborate on it then, since we're talking about it?
I'm not going to get too carried away with it. Well, because it's in Jimbo's video this week, so I'm not going to get too carried away with it for this
we know
one.
about Jimbo's video.
Yeah,
so-
but I will say this: I found a place on the main lake this week that had it was basically was a not I'm not going to say it was a pocket,
Right,
but it was almost like a trap, so to speak. The wind was blowing straight in,
right.
and it
And the water didn't really have nowhere to go. It just had to stay
well,
in
more
there.
importantly, the bait had nowhere to go.
Right.
And the fish had the bait pinned on 3 sides by land, and the other side by the fish. And it was an insane 15 minutes when I came up and I was fishing the rock and I looked over, and it broke loose, and
Yeah.
it broke loose, and it stayed loose. I mean, it may have lasted longer. My electronics decided they wanted to stop working for some crazy reason. I don't know why, because I've been using them all day, and this was later on in the day. But it was absolutely insane. Every single cast for 10 or 15 minutes, I either caught a fish or had a fish eat. It didn't matter if they were striking on top. It did not matter if they were actually blowing up. And I had about a 45, maybe 90 degree span. Any cast in that, it didn't matter.
Didn't matter.
Did
You're
not
getting
matter.
bit.
I was getting bit.
Yeah.
That's what we're looking for.
That's the
So,
magic. That's,
yeah,
that's the
it's-
magic that you look for this time of
Yeah,
year.
that was fun. And I had a slow day till I pulled up on that. And then I was like, this is absolutely insane.
And those
and
are
it-
so satisfying.
Yeah, and it wasn't like I just caught, because a lot of times it happens and you'll catch one fish and that's it. You're done.
Right.
No. Cast after cast, it was insane.
Beasley is kind of, he's over here,
Taking it all in.
his little thing, But you were saying something. You were agreeing with Jeff on one thing. Jeff can't really elaborate. We all respect the reason why, because of Jimbo's fishing reports, which he does very, 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 very successful. If you don't have one and you're interested and you want to kind of stay on top of the fish and you don't have the ability to be able to go during the week much, and you've got to fish basically on Saturday or Sunday, depending upon, what day you get, go check out Jimbo and Jeff. They will give you all the lowdown that you need.
Yeah, I will say, my opinion on this is how I am, is when I have somebody in the boat or when Jimbo and having our talks on Wednesday afternoon, I am of the essence of, if I can teach you essentially to almost be better than I am, then I'm doing my job.
Right.
And I do not.
Well, that's what
if,
it is
if
as
you've
a
been
guide.
right, and if you've been in the boat with me, you'll know I do not hold back. You can ask me a question about anything, and I'm going to tell you straight up what I think, and I'm not going to sugarcoat anything, and I'm not going to hide anything.
Right.
And if you want to know what I'm doing, then I will tell you what I'm doing exactly, and I don't hold back. I've never been one of those people that are like, oh, information is. No, I will cut loose with some information in an absolute heartbeat, and
I can
not think twice
verify
about it.
that's true. I've been in the boat with him many times, and not only he doesn't like people bragging on him, but not only does Jeff share the information that as it unfolds, but he demonstrates really
Right.
really well. And this guy right here can catch the heck out of some fish.
Right. So I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to say this. So we're doing a little bit of promotion for you. This is my promotion to you. And I haven't fished with you.
Yeah,
but Brett has, and some of you other people might be watching. I've also already been fishing with Jeff. You're going to make sure that you do everything in your possibility. If you hire Jeff to take you out on the lake, he is going to do everything in his ability to make sure not only do you catch some fish, understand why you're catching those fish,
Mm-hmm.
and then understand when something stops or something isn't working, how you would personally change or do something different, so that way that person who is with you in the boat can also say when they're alone or they're with their partner or whatever they're doing, they can say, well, hey, they can basically go back in there and pull it back out of their hat.
Right.
They can say, Jeff was elaborated on this. We went an hour and we didn't catch anything. And Jeff was like, we need to do something different. So Jeff 180'd and done something different. And in the first place or two that we went to go fish to do that, it produced. So you pretty much take a lot of pride in being able to say that you do your best
I do.
to do that.
Well, and there's also, and I didn't mean to, you're about
No,
to
you're
speak.
good.
I think there's people that are natural teachers that teaching something is easy for them when they're not trying to teach, and he does that. He teaches without realizing he's teaching you.
Mm-hmm.
You see, so because he's just sharing information, his experience, his knowledge. It's just how he is.
You really don't have a filter.
No.
You just
When,
let it- you
as
just
far as
let it go.
information goes, no.
No. And that's a good.
Oh, it's a great thing
No.
for a
That's a
guide.
good thing.
Not at all.
That's a good trick.
When you're on the boat with him, you're going to learn.
Yeah, and that's I enjoy teaching. A large part of my career was teaching,
Right.
so I enjoy doing it. And I there's nothing more rewarding to me than to hear somebody go be successful in whatever it is. I mean, it could be fishing, it could be what I did in my previous career, or any of it. It doesn't matter.
Right.
When somebody is successful and they're like, "Hey, you taught me X, Y, or Z," there is no greater reward than that. And that's a big reason why I enjoy doing what I'm doing, and a big reason why even if I don't have a trip, I fish 5 or 6 days a week.
Right.
It does not matter. I am on the water 6 to 8 hours a day, 5 to 6 days a week.
Yeah, I can totally agree with that, because I've had instances up here just being at the store now for a little while, being able to tell somebody something, and then they go back and then they post a picture or something later and they shout me out or something like that, or they message me on Facebook, hey, appreciate you telling me that. Here's what happened. This is how it worked. Really appreciate it. I get a lot of gratitude out of it.
Yeah.
Gratitude. That's kind of really the wrong word, but I get a lot of.
It's rewarding.
Yeah, it's
Rewarding.
reward. I get a lot of reward out of that. Exactly what you're saying,
Mhm.
Jeff. And it feels good. Listen, I try not to little. Y'all been listening to me banter on here for about a year now, and pretty much every week. And I try not to. I'm pretty flat honest about what I'm kind of doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you ask me a question, I'm pretty much flat out honest, because at the end of the day, I can tell you everything to do, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you can go do exactly what I'm telling you to do.
Exactly. And I was having that thought process, and I've talked with Brett about this before on a number of our trips, is that you definitely want to take I will take information from everybody,
Right.
and I will throw that in, and then I will come up with something that is kind of connected, or I'll try to find where all these different pieces are connected and go there. Where I'm not that great, because there's so many variables. Like
Right.
it's very difficult to go exactly replicate what you hear
Right.
somebody do.
Right.
But what you can do is take bits and pieces of what somebody A's doing, bits and pieces of what somebody's B doing, and C, and then they're all little pieces, and you can put together something that's kind of a combination of all three,
Right.
and be very successful. And I know you and I have done that,
Yep.
where we've gone out and if you try to do the quote on doc talk, it doesn't work out real well.
You can't replicate it.
You have a hard time replicating, but you can take parts of doc talk from person A, part from B, and then you can go figure something
And
out.
the biggest learner out of all that is when you take all those things and you put them together. I see my name up there, so it distracted me. When you take all A, B, and C together and you put them together, and then you go do it yourself and you put the puzzle together yourself,
It's more rewarding.
that it's more rewarding, and also your confidence goes from here to here real quick.
Very quick.
Because if you go and try to duplicate something, and then you're actually successful in being able to do it the way that you're trying to do it, you're like, oh, well, it worked. Well, then it turns from it worked to Oh yeah, I can go run this. I know what to look for. I know what to see, and then you can zone everything out.
Yeah, you're going to find a pattern within the pattern
Right.
that you can duplicate more often, not always, but more often than not, you can go duplicate it in other areas. And, you know, I had one earlier this week where it was extremely specific. I mean, I could sit here and say, oh, I was on a shaky head on docks. Yeah, okay, actually that day was a net rig, but there was a very specific thing on docks. There were two components it had to have, and if it didn't have both components, it was not going to get bit.
Right.
And when I say very specific, I'm talking like
Very.
that can specific.
Yeah.
If you threw right here, you threw over there, nope, it had to be right there, and there had to be a couple other things going on with it too. But it was that specific as to what was happening, and it was if you would have said, oh yeah, I caught him on a net rig on docks. You go throw, I guarantee you, 9 out of 10 casts on a dock, you weren't going to get bit.
Mm-hmm.
But if you had those two pieces of the puzzle, you were going to get bit. And that's how it was for me that day. Now, it may have been something else on a different day, but on that particular day, and I repeated it. Once I figured it out, I was able to repeat it in like 2 or 3 different creeks.
But, you know, talking about fall fishing, I think fall fishing will make you a better fisherman. We complain about how the fish are scattered and they're not set up right and all that, but fall fishing, if you get out there and spend time, it makes you a better fisherman because you are trying different things and you are putting pieces together. You're working harder as a fisherman than you do when it's easy and they're, like you say, set up in the back of a ditch and you throw a fish head spin down there and slow reel it and you know.
Right.
And it changes too. I mean, just
It
because this works today doesn't mean that's going to work tomorrow.
That's right.
They may be over there tomorrow.
Lanier is very specific to that, and those of you who fish Lanier probably really understand that pretty wholeheartedly. One day it's can't do no wrong doing one thing. The next day, go back to the exact same areas. The fish are there. You see them.
They're not behaving though.
But they're not behaving the way
Right.
that you caught them yesterday. So then you got to pull out your bag of tricks, and you got to try to do something a little bit different.
And you're lucky if they're still there.
And you're lucky if they're still there.
They should have named Lanier versatility. That's really what you got to be versatile.
We talked about versatility when they first got here this evening. When we first started talking earlier, they got here pretty early, and we first started talking about that. And me and Jeff and Brett were sitting there talking, and we said, "Wow." I basically said, "Well, there's a difference in being versatile and being confused." And I see a lot of both with some people. Not everybody with 15 rods laying on the deck is confused, but there are the other half with 15 rods on the deck. You can pretty much say they're confused.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I always say, and I've said this before, I'll echo it again on the show. The guys, specifically speaking tournament fishing, the guys that I worry about the most are the guys that show up to the tournament with like 1 rod on the deck.
Yep.
They got to figure it out.
They've got it figured out, and they're going to go do it, and they're confident that they're going to be able to duplicate it that day, and they're going to have a successful day. Whether they win or not, that's the part of playing this game. Remember, this is the losing the sport tournament fishing that you can possibly play of anything. Is tournament fishing.
I think all of this is a reason why I enjoy fishing Lanier so much. I mean, it really is because I can't go out like let's say June through August
Right.
on Lake Chickamauga, for example.
Okay.
I know I can go.
How did I know you were going to bring that up?
I know I can go to Chickamauga and I can have 2 rods on my deck, and I will catch fish. I'm not going to guarantee all day, but I'm going to put
Consistently.
I'm going to consistently put fish in the boat, and they are going to vary in size from 12 ounces to pushing
12
double
ounces.
digits. And Brett can verify this one. And it doesn't matter. June, July, August, same setup, same baits, maybe tweak the color slightly, but unless the river's flowing backwards, i.e. they're dumping more water in the lake than they're pulling out of the lake, I'm going to catch fish. And I know I am. And I know exactly where I'm going to do it. I'm going to say I'm going to catch them at X, Y, and Z. That's not going to happen on there.
Right.
Every day is different. Every day is something else. And then it's part of the reason I'm a very competitive person. So it's like me against the lake. And then I get ticked off when the lake wins. And then therefore I go work even harder to make sure the lake does not win later. And if that means that I drop a client off after 8 hours and I go fish for another 2 because I had a slow day and then I have done that.
Somebody asked about how you like your Garmin.
Oh, I love it. It's changed the way I fish in the summer. And actually, I would say probably 10% of the fish I've caught over the last 2 months, I have caught 100% because of the Garmin. I would not have caught them had I not had a Garmin, period.
This is Panoptics.
The Panoptics. Specifically the Panoptics, yes.
But he
I
has
have,
both. He's got the Lowrance.
yeah, I'm getting in process of getting the Lowrance one installed also, so I'll have both on my boat. I'll have Lowrance or Active Target, and I'll be able to turn one on and turn the other one off and then go back and forth. So if somebody, that is in the works,
You're not going to do the J-2 kind of method?
both of them together.
Well, you know how he had that one out
Forward
front, and then he had that one point straight
looking
down.
No, I mean, there's a point where no, but what I do want to be able to do is offer people to be able to see both if they're interested in.
If they have that.
He was
on the
only in
boat,
like
yeah.
15
Correct.
feet of water too, I think.
Right.
Yeah, no. So I have the capability to do it. So why not offer it? If you're interested in getting one or the other, you can come out and play with both of them and see which one you like better, and then go from there.
That is very smart, because arguably the only really two really right now that you can really get, we'll just be flat out honest with it. If you can't get if you don't get Panoptics, you can get Active Target. You can go online right now to Lowrance, and you can order an Active Target module right now, and they will ship it to you. Same thing with Garmin.
Correct.
They will get it to you. Humminbird,
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to wait for.
Really?
Yeah.
You're gonna be
I
there.
got
well, I'm not
birds.
saying anything, because basically what I'm doing is crickets. Listen, we sell Humminbird here at the store. Dude, we can't even get grass. People have called up wanting to buy a graph. And it sounds bad on our part, but it's kind of like, well, we don't really know. These guys aren't wanting Mega Live 360. They're just wanting a graph.
Yep.
And it's like, well, we really don't know. And that's kind of bad for Humminbird. So, but I give all props and all credit to you on doing that. That is a pretty awesome thing.
It's in
to
the
do.
process, so it's coming. I'll make a post on my Facebook page when I do get it set up, but it'll probably be, hopefully within the next month, I'll have it set up. I got all the parts at the house. I just need to, I really need to take a day and not fish and sit there and run the wires, Brett.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
shots fired.
I just got hired.
You just did. But
do me one favor right now while we're sitting there talking
Yes,
about
sir.
this. Do me one favor. Paul, get ready. Shout out your Facebook page.
it's J2 on Lanier.
Type that up. Hey, Paul can't spell.
Letter J, number 2.
Yeah, it's the letter J and then the number 2 on Lanier. Yep, that should be it.
Okay. Do me a favor, all of you that are watching who don't already follow Jeff, do me a favor. Head over to Facebook right now. Go over there and click the follow button. Like his page.
So here's an interesting thing on that. When that page gets 1,000 followers, I'm going to pull one of those 1,000 people out, and that's a half-day trip for 2.
Ooh.
Book that, guys. So
I think
go
it's-
over there right now and
think
go
it's
like
getting close. It's
go
over
like
700,
J2 on the near.
Yeah, I think
Go
we're
do it
sitting
now.
right around 700.
Yes, it's 700,
So
I think.
once it hits 1,000, I'm going to pull the name out, and then that's a free half-day trip for 2.
All right, so let's get you 1,000
it's-
before Christmas, because that'd be one hell of a Christmas present.
It would
It
be
really
one,
would be.
and it's
It really would be.
I'll make it transferable. So if a spouse registers and they can give it to their husband or whatever, or a friend or a cousin, aunt, brother, I don't really, it doesn't matter who fishes. They can give it away. I'll send them a thing, and then the sooner we do it, spring's not that
You already
far
got
away.
one. You already got one. Let's get some more, guys. You get again one more time. Go over to Facebook, go to J2 on Lanier, and hit that like button. Smash it. Go do it. Go do it. Listen, all the guys, I will vouch for this for sure right now. I'll stake my reputation on this. All the guys on Lanier.
Yeah,
whether-
I'll do a full day for one or half for 2. Either one.
Okay.
I mean, they're pretty much the same.
I will stake my reputation on this. Whether it's Jeff, Jimbo, Kevin Underwood, Rob Jordan, Derek White,
Lanier Jim.
Lanier Jim, PJ, Phil Johnson, who else am I leading at? Eric Aldrich.
I don't know. Everybody's a god.
I mean, but nobody has anything. I pay attention to those guys, and everyone that I see that talks about it, whether it's word of mouth or they post it on Facebook or whatever it is, in whatever form or fashion, have nothing but wonderful things to say about you guys. They talk about how every single one of y'all on the lake, you know, and if I left somebody out, and that's including the striper guides, and I don't know many striper guides,
Yeah.
but that's including the striper guides. So if there's any guys out there striper fishermen, you know, I don't really know many of them. Is Clay Cunningham? I guess he's Blair. Striper Steve. Striper Steve's one. Yeah, Youngblood. All the guys who guide, whether it's stripers or spots or striper or bass or crappie, anything, y'all have nothing but good things that people say about y'all.
It's a labor of love for most of us.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, people are like, oh, you're going fishing for 8 hours. Okay. But I am either preparing or doing other stuff for at least another 3 hours
Right.
for the 8 that we spend together on the water.
Right.
So
Lot
either
of
the
long
night,
days. Lot of
yeah, I
long
mean, it
days.
is. I mean, usually at 45 minutes or so in the morning, and then, you know, my wife is probably like, this is BS because he's out there sitting in the boat every afternoon for 2 hours. But I'm doing something,
She
you know.
doesn't say it like that.
No, she doesn't say it like that.
That's how he hears it.
She's 100% supportive. I've got the best wife in the world. I honestly cannot.
She is.
I mean, she is a true trooper when it comes to all this, and it's great. But it's
Appreciate it.
it really is. It's a labor of love, and I enjoy sitting out tweaking with it. My son comes out and he sits in the boat and helps me do things, and just enjoys it. And I work at this pretty much almost nonstop. I mean, it really is. But I enjoy it, which is great.
That's the bottom line. You enjoy it. That's the key
Yeah.
word in this. He enjoys it. So when he takes you guys out fishing, if y'all hire him to take y'all fishing to go learn, or just go. Not everybody goes to just learn. Some guys just want to go out there and just catch the absolute hell out of fish and whack on them.
Yeah, I think everybody wants to whack them.
I mean, everybody wants to go whack on them.
Yeah, and if it
It don't always work that way.
No, it doesn't.
But you guys tend to be able to stay on them a little bit better than the rest of us.
Yeah, I mean,
Cass said dealing with the tackle's the fun part.
yes.
Cass knows.
Kaz, he's up on Chattoog,
Chattoog.
and I've heard a lot of great things about him as well. He does a fantastic job guiding. So Dane Hunter says, sorry
Appreciate
I'm
it,
late.
David.
Listen, you need to get on the ball, and you need to get on here. Never fished with Jeff, but I have been in a boat with Brett. He taught me a couple of 3 things
I remember
on
that.
chatterbait one day in a tourney.
I do remember that.
That's cool. So see, even though
Who do
you're
you
not
think
guiding-
taught Brett stuff?
Well, I would say it's Jeff. Jeff's the one who Jeff's. So there's a master and apprentice, and we'll botch from LJ over here. It's like the Sith in Star Wars. There's always two. There's no more. We got the master and we got the apprentice.
Nerd alert.
That's for Jim. That's for Jim. That's for LJ. That's for LJ James Harmon. Listen,
LJ, birthday boy, James.
birthday. I was about to say birthday boy James LJ Harmon. Happy birthday! I think he's 95 today.
He doesn't look a day over.
He don't
90.
look a day over 90 though, and I think Big Earl Porter will vouch for that. So I'm pretty sure that they are winding down their Taco Thursday festivities. I'm sure.
About now.
They're probably there.
Oh, yeah.
He's wearing the sombrero, getting them free soap
I
right now.
I wrote on LJ's wall this morning. I said, "Happy birthday," and I said, "I hope they sing to you tonight at Taco Thursday." And LJ was not the first person to like or comment on it. It was Earl. So when I seen Earl like it, I said, "Oh, LJ's done."
I figured it had to be either Earl or Corey.
I said, "LJ's done. They're gonna come out there with maracas and a guitar and trumpet." And
Corey doesn't miss many opportunities to
no, I don't think Corey
jump on
does.
anything.
I don't think Corey does either. So,
This might be a good time to also talk about the show coming up first of the year.
yeah, so that's what we were, because that's what I was going to say. We're about at the halfway mark. So
Okay.
if y'all need to take a bathroom break,
I need to.
go take a bathroom break, go get a drink, go stretch your legs, whatever, for the last hour or so. Go get me a Coke. We'll let Eric talk here before the night's over. So we're at the halfway point. I'm gonna go ahead and y'all gonna hear me ramble. So if
Y'all ramble, I'm gonna
if y'all
use the
need to go
restroom.
use the bathroom, go use the bathroom.
I'm good.
Stretch your legs.
I'm good. I got a bladder that doesn't
I got
die.
a bladder that doesn't die.
Yeah, a twice a day guy.
While using that, is it still alive?
Yeah.
I didn't know if you cut it off for.
No, No, I have things I gotta talk about. I've got a big old list of things that I've got to talk about.
He's got a rundown.
Let me see my pretty face. Let me see.
Hey, don't pick the ABA 125. All right. Alex, here.
All right. Now, this is in regards right here for the Nathan Hurd raffle. Okay, guys, this is starting to come to a head next week on Friday. Chris Taylor, I haven't seen him watching the show tonight. He may be busy, maybe doing something else, but we'll go ahead and echo this for him. Chris Taylor is in charge of it. I know Tyler Burt's helping. Scott Barnes, he's helping as well. He's throwing his many talents out at this. So the tournament is next Friday for Nathan Hurd. Okay, Paul's got that thing going right now. Contact Chris Taylor if you got any questions. There is no limit on the boats. Okay, so basically, even if you don't want to, but basically, I talked to Chris the other night. Basically, if turn the comments on, Paul, so that way in case you see somebody has a question while I'm talking about this. So there's really no limit. Okay, so they're going to be putting in like War Hill, Bolden Mill. You can put in over there Duckett Mill, and you can ride over. Keith's Bridge be another one you can put in and ride up to because it's not very far from Little Hall. So come out, come support them, come fish, guys. It's really just about getting together. Us as the fishing community. The fishing community on Lanier is very special. All of you guys got big hearts. And all of you guys like to help each other out. We all like to help someone when they're in need. The whole Nathan Hurd situation is very unfortunate. Guys, this could happen to any one of us that's in this room right now or any one of you watching. Doing something that you love to do, hanging up a tree stand, fall out of the tree, man, and then your pretty much life is turned upside down. So come out and come fish. Can we just pay the entry fee and not fish after work? I'm absolutely sure that you get in contact with Danny or you get in contact with Chris. I'm absolutely sure that is probably an option, I'm sure. Even if you can't make it. I know Black Friday, I know some of y'all shop. I know that, it's some people, some years on Black Friday in the past for my family, per se, I've had Thanksgiving lunch on Black Friday. So I know sometimes there's some kind of situations, but just please, guys, if you can, let's donate. Let's come out, come fish. Even if you can't fish, like I said, come donate. We're still running the raffles. We still got the gun. We still have the reel. Come on out and come. Remember, they're $10 a piece of the raffle tickets. Guys, I know it's getting down to the holidays and Thanksgiving's next week, and I know money's going to start getting a little bit tight. But even $10 is even something that'll help. That $10 will go a long way. So we just want to reiterate that again next Friday because I don't know. At this moment, me and Danny talked about this. I don't know if we'll have a show next week. Don't know if we'll do one next. We don't know. Well, we don't know if we're going to do one yet or not. We ain't decided. We got to talk about it.
Do it on the water.
No, we're not doing it on the water
That'd be
Thursday.
awesome.
Listen, my wife would kill me if I fished on Thanksgiving, and I have fished on Thanksgiving before I met my wife. We used to fish a little like 10-boat tournament on Thanksgiving morning from like daylight to like 12, and it was pretty fun.
I used to deer hunt every Thanksgiving.
Used to deer hunt.
Oh, yeah.
That was a tradition.
I know Jeff. I know Jeff's a big hunter because you were up in Missouri.
I was.
For how long were you up there?
Well, because I didn't have a trolling motor.
Well, we won't elaborate on that.
All right, I won't have two here. No, I was up there for about 10 days.
Yeah.
And I'm taking my kiddo up there next week for another 5 or 6 days.
Is it get hot? Is it get hot up there?
Hot as in
Like
as in the
like-
rut as in the
like
rut action? Oh yeah.
action. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's just really starting to get fired up down here.
Yeah,
And
it's
it still ain't full swing yet.
Yeah, around here, Thanksgiving's prime time.
Yeah.
yeah, it's peaked up there. And it's kind of tapering, but there's enough does. They'll be chasing does up there for next month.
Be looking for some.
You get spoiled. You go hunt in the Midwest and you get spoiled
Be looking for some.
real fast.
Real quick. So Freddie said what he said right there about fishing. It's okay. So talking about this right here.
Oh, there's LG.
So at this moment, all right, LJ, I didn't have yours, so you're gonna have to shout out yours if you can, since you're watching. If you can tell me right here in the comment section who your highest current bidder is right now. So at this moment, right now, for the guide trips to benefit Nathan Hurd, remember all this money goes to Nathan Hurd's family. Bill Payne right now is got Tracy Jackson is the highest bidder right now at $600. For Jimbo, it's Chad Orr. He's at $450. Phil Johnson, PJ Spots on the near. Chad Richards, he's at $325. Kevin Underwood, Timothy Guy Logan is at $275. That's the highest bid right now. Jonathan Farmer, which is for Lake Notley, out of all of these. Now, Bill Payne, I forgot to mention that. Bill Payne's will either be Carter's or Allatoona. It'll be the choice. Jonathan Farmer's is for Notley. His current high bid right now is Brendan Glover at $300. Mine with Nathan Skinner is at $300. And I will say this because I can speak for myself. If you want two people to come on with me, you want husband and wife, or father and son, or father daughter, or father dad, or whatever. You know, it doesn't really matter. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. That's fine. I got 21-foot Phoenix. I got plenty of room. I ain't got to worry about that. You can bring your own rods and stuff like that. You can bring some baits that you might like to throw, but for the most part, I'll have the most of everything that you would need. So that's just, but that I don't speak for everybody. That's just me speaking because I can speak for myself on this. And then the other one is Paul Marks. Jesse Millsaps is in the lead with that with $500. We already made mention of that. Paul and Jesse gonna catch all the fish in Lake Lanier. And then LJ is, and I don't think he heard me. LJ also is up, and he has, I don't know what his bid is because for some reason I couldn't find it on the group page. LJ, I was looking earlier and I couldn't find where your post was. But nobody wants to go fishing with LJ anyway, so you know. But no, I'm just kidding. We love LJ. But LJ, if you could shout that out for me in the comment section. Danny's going to go over all this, and he's going to make a post about it with all the high bidders currently, just basically the same way that I said it. So
we got one more to come with that as well.
we got one more what?
We haven't rolled it out yet. Alex Green is going to donate a river trip on his jet boat, probably through Striker.
Okay, so Alex Green. Okay, before we get to that, LJ said Chad Orr $400. I think we'll double check that. But listen, all of us that are giving out guide trips and stuff, the money's adding up fast, and that's just a great thing. It really and truly is. But let's keep it going. You know, we want to try to help as much as we can.
Absolutely.
Paul said that Alex Green, if any of you know him, he's got a jet boat, aluminum jet boat.
Current high bid for that's $200. It's me.
The current high bid for that
You'll have
is
to outbid me for that.
the current high bid. He's got a jet boat. He goes way up river, goes fishing for striper. That's what his main thing is.
Like in March.
Whenever you want.
Yes, whenever you want. Hey boys, is that your wife?
I don't know.
I don't know.
They got to
WW
We'll roll that out on the group page.
You got to tell.
We'll roll
the
that out on the group page sometime tomorrow morning. If we don't get to it tomorrow, we'll definitely have it up there Saturday.
Be on the lookout.
Be on the lookout.
Tell that Facebook user what to do.
Yeah, so Facebook, there's Alex Green Fishing. June is the money.
June's
There
the
you
money.
go. June is the money. Alex, you watching? Listen, appreciate you donating a trip. We really appreciate it. And words can't express it. What it means to those of us. So, Facebook user, real quick, go to www.streamyard.com/Facebook. Register your name, and then when you comment again, then we will know who exactly the mystery person is. We don't like playing Scooby-Doo. We like to know who you are when you comment. So, but yeah, so all the guides have different rates. Jeff is sitting.
Oh, there's another good one.
Kaz Anderson.
Kaz Anderson just said he will don't let me write this down.
Slide up in them DMs.
I'm gonna slide up in them thing. Kaz, I need you what I need you to do is I need you, Cass, to message Danny Pruitt on Facebook and give out your information to him so he can get you set up, and send him a picture of some big old Lake Chateau largemouth or big old Lake Chateau spotted bass, whatever it is that you want to do. A good,
He
a
has plenty
good,
of both.
beautiful,
4 pound spot.
a good, beautiful mug of that, and we will get that going. So what we're getting at is Kevin Underwood. He's $250 right now for a guide trip. Derek White, he's $350 for a guide trip.
Derek's in this thing?
No, he's announcing his.
Rate.
We're talking about rates.
Oh.
That's what I was trying to get at. We're talking about, because someone asked the question, what's the going rate right now for a guide trip on Lanier? So Derek White, he's at $350. Derek White knows his stuff. If you want to learn how to go fish with him, he knows his stuff too. He's an absolute guy to go with.
Good catch him.
Brian, James, LJ said 400, 450. What is your daily rate for both of yours? Half day, full day, two people, one people?
Let me pull it up.
Okay, so while he pulls it up, Kaz, we appreciate it.
You can tell he's
Really,
not greedy. He doesn't
really
even know his
appreciate it.
rates.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but I don't really pay attention to it. I mean, I do, but I don't.
He's there for the fishing.
I really am.
Oh,
No,
LJ wanted to see the back of my jersey. Can I do that now?
Do that, yeah. LJ,
yeah,
watching.
mine
Give him the RVD.
And I'm proud of my jersey.
mine will
I'm
vary
proud of my
from
sponsors, by the way.
$375 to $550, depending on
375 to 550.
yeah,
So
depending on if
that's
it's full or half,
full
one or
or
two.
half, and how many people.
Yep.
Okay.
Proud to represent
Most
Lanier Baits.
most everybody
And Pulse.
is in about
Pulse.
roughly the same
throwing those
price
scroungers?
range, give
Yep.
or take about
Yep.
$50.
Right.
$100.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
it's got a
pretty
good
close.
product.
I mean, you have to cover
Expensive.
the expenses.
Gas is getting high.
Just a couple of weeks ago.
By the way, one thing that I do want to reiterate, guys, all the guides that are going to be taking people out, what you bidding on, you got your bid money, whoever wins. Please, 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 right now, please, even if it's
Hashtag tip your guide.
hashtag
Hashtag feed your guide.
Hashtag tip your guide. Hashtag feed your guide. I filled my truck up today. My truck, I got a Silverado 1500 V8. Guys, it's $80. I got 24 gallons of gas, man. It's getting expensive. My Phoenix, I think Brett's is the same way. My Phoenix has a 52-gallon tank. Jeff's Triton, it probably has
It's right
about a
at
52-gallon tank.
It is. It's right at 50.
Because Jeff is running a beautiful TRX 21.
It is.
Oh, that's a nice boat.
So Jeff is running one of those. That's what he's running. I got a 721 Phoenix. Brett has a 921 Elite.
No, mine's the Pro XP.
The Pro XP. LJ, out of all the guys, LJ's got the cheapest on gas because he's running an 18.5-foot boat. So, and
Me too.
LJ's got money. And Eric Beasley also. They got it where it's at. But
Heck yeah.
Derek
Heck
White,
yeah.
he's
Still
running
$100
he's
still
running
on
a FXR or the ZXR or whatever it is, the FXR 20.
FXR.
FXR.
That thing's going to have a 40-something plus gallon tank, nearly 50-gallon tank. Gas prices are getting really, really high, and it sucks. Oil is also, for those of us that run two strokes, I
going up
run a
too.
two-stroke. Oil's going up too. Oil's getting expensive also.
Let's go, Brandon.
My DFI oil, I've been paying all summer long about $37 a gallon for it. Went and got some the other day. It's got 2 gallons, $40. So it's went up $3.50.
I don't miss a two-stroke. I miss the smell of it, but I don't miss having to add the oil.
The next
LJ's got a
opportunity,
41-gallon tank.
Steve Pinkston
about
said, "I'll
similar.
take someone out for a pack of crackers." We need some more nuts, Steve. Bring us some nuts. We're out.
Leave it to Steve.
We're out. Look what Farmer said. You got pulse fish on the back of your jersey. Caught a bunch on spinning PJ today. You throw the
That's
spinning
an
PJ?
underspin right
That's
there.
an underspin. You
That's
ever
a good
you
one.
ever thrown pulse fish?
No, I don't think I've thrown that one.
I'll get him thrown.
Get him throwing them Bardet. I don't think Bardet's watching, so we like to talk about it. Get him throwing that pulse lure, pulse.
I'm about to be throwing a jig.
a jig. Yeah,
That-
it's jig time, baby. Jig.
That pulse fish scrounger,
And I will throw the snot out of them from now till the
That's
spawn.
Scrounger.
So will I. Me
I'm your
three.
guy now.
I'll
You got
throw
a
them.
guy.
I got a guy.
Feel to have a guy.
I'm your
Oh, it's,
big
it's
guy.
good to have a guy.
Cass said he ditched his Evinrude. Woo, best,
Ooh.
best decision ever in terms of Evinrude. Ditched the Evinrude, got something else. What'd you go to? Yamaha? Yamaha. Go boldly. That's all I can say. All three of us run Mercury. Right?
I
Yeah.
think we do.
150, baby.
Mercury in the house right now. Go boldly. He got a yes, we got a Mercury guy in the house. Then you know Yamaha. Don't even know Yamaha's in the house. So anyway, so with that being said, guys, like I said, we appreciate all that, and don't forget to come to the store. We
Big
still got the
scoops.
real raffle
Yes, sir,
and
LJ.
the gun raffle. Don't forget about that. You can come to the store and buy some tickets. And in terms of the Jim Farmer spy baits, all of those were spoken for the day they were posted, and we will get them guys. You can come pick them up, or you can message Danny to figure out something in terms of giving him PayPal or something like that. But reiterate this one more time, and then we're going to talk about the fishing again. All this money, me and Danny personally, and Josh, all three of us, will personally make sure that every single dollar goes to the Nathan Hurd family. Every single dollar will go to the
Absolutely.
Nathan Hurd family. We personally will guarantee it. So me and Brett are teammates when it comes to poach fish. Yeah,
Cool.
listen.
Cool.
That's Jonathan Farmer. He's all like, he does what he does.
That's cool.
By the way, Jeff, next time I see
Catches
you
their spot back.
and wave.
I did wave.
Oh, ooh.
Oh,
Jeez.
Listen, it's hard to wave the LJ because sometimes you don't know if he's waving.
It
or if
is.
he's
Well, he was in a
flicking
center.
you
He was in a center console today too. So
off. Was he?
yeah, he was. He was in somebody's center console.
Coming over to the dark side.
oh man.
To the center console. I'm sure you were doing a bird trip, I guess, is probably what you were doing if you were in the center console, LJ. So, how was Mexican, by the way? So, there's Earl.
What's up, big
All-
Earl?
All the Lanier Baits crews finally getting on. Y'all were late tonight at the Mexican restaurant. Earl's on, Corey's on,
Free soap
LJ.
and
They had the-
They're all got full bellies.
Yeah,
They're
full,
happy.
They're full of tacos, full of sopapillas, full of what's that other thing that
Dos Equis.
Dos Equis. No,
Lamb.
what's that thing that they always eat?
Chips and salsa.
No, what's that dessert?
Flan. Flan.
Flan.
Flan,
Yeah,
yeah,
what it is,
flan.
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 I bet
I've
LJ
never
got
had
a
it.
flan with a candle in it. I'm sure that's what happens.
I've never had it.
I don't know. I've
It's
never
good.
had either.
Is it
Have you
good?
ever had a flan?
Some people hate it.
He looked Jeff
So what's
like
it
that. No. He's like,
My wife probably has. I mean, she is a native El Pasoan. I mean, so there's.
Oh yeah. she's
But that's
got
like it's a little bit different type of Mexican
That's
out there.
different
That's some real
That's
deal
like
Holyfield stuff.
Southwest
it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
stuff.
Tex-Mex.
I took Brett to one of the favorite.
That was a great place.
And it was great.
Was it good?
A straight hole in the wall
LJ.
dive bar.
Now your daughter's in
She's in Dallas.
Dallas. That's not that far.
Good memory.
That's not that
We
Oh,
were
it's
just-
12
we were
hours
just
from
there
El
and stuff.
Paso.
far. Mariah is in Dallas.
Mariah's in Dallas.
College.
No, she's
El Paso
graduated
is
No,
college.
she
closer to
graduated
San
college.
Diego.
She graduated from UGA.
Right. She's at work now.
She's at work,
Loving it.
loving it. What's she doing?
She works for Fisher Investments. She got
So if I
she
need a
got
retirement fund,
she had a good job. She's not doing individuals. She's doing more corporate.
So here in a couple of years, she'll be riding a Mercedes Benz.
That's what I'm hoping for.
That's what Brett's hoping for. That's what
She
he
can buy you a boat.
buy you a boat.
Solidifying my retirement one day.
It's spelt flan, listen, we appreciate you. So, LJ, hit up Brian. He said how much he charged for sonar trips. So, he posted this morning, pulled his hamstring. God bless James Harmon. Something's
Thoughts
always,
and prayers, bro.
listen, you'll learn something about LJ. There's
Oh,
always something wrong.
Oh, I fished with him a few times.
Oh,
It's
gosh.
comical.
Oh, gosh.
Did you hear that?
not
LJ?
not as comical as Brett being in the boat with me now. That's another story.
That's a different story.
Yeah. But that's a whole nother rabbit hole. But yeah.
All right.
No
so,
rabbit holes tonight.
no
Oh, did you
rabbit-
also,
I'll
did you also
shout
see
out-
your guy that came in today?
Huh?
His name's Island without a D.
Island.
Island.
Island without a D. Yeah. So Island, I seen you. Come back, dude. Bring your dad. Really appreciate you. I gave him two Georgia Blade hats.
Nice.
Because he first thing he did when he picked up and walked into the store this afternoon was he grabbed a Georgia Blade hat. I said, "You just take that with you." So gave him two of them.
Very nice.
So shout out George Blake Bait Company.
I'll shout out LJ
Yes.
real quick.
Oh, Eric's gonna shout out
Or-
LJ.
That Helix 9 on the front of my boat been working great.
LG, I was thinking about that a couple days ago. They showed up at the house and I was almost naked.
Oh no.
And I still welcomed them in. I'm a
What's up, bro?
generous host.
Were you in briefs?
I think I was in briefs. I probably was in briefs. Was I in briefs?
Briefs only.
Yeah.
Came sliding across-
And it was
across
cold.
the floor like Tom
And it was,
Cruise
that's right.
Rescue Disney.
It was cold too.
Oh Lord. All right, let's get back on track now. All right, so this last 40 minutes, let's have some fun and let's talk about this. What to get to know Jeff better,
Oh boy.
and all both of y'all gonna answer this question. Eric can answer this question too. Hell, I might too. I don't know. What's your favorite bait to throw? What's your favorite technique?
What lake we talking about? Are we talking Lanier or are we talking like Tennessee River?
All right, give us your favorite Lanier bait and give us your favorite other lake bait.
My favorite Lanier bait would be it would be a toss up between a jig and a gunfish. And my favorite on the Tennessee River is a drop shot.
Drop shot
Ooh.
on the Tennessee
The
River.
Tennessee River.
Okay, what about you? Lanier and another lake.
Lanier, a sweet bait.
Ooh.
We all know who's got money.
Can't hide.
Well,
Can't hide money.
I've only bought 2 of them and I've lost one.
Oh.
every time
That's heartbreaking.
every time I throw the other one, I cringe a little bit.
Ooh.
But you gotta throw it though.
Tennessee River.
Well, it don't have to be the
Yeah.
Tennessee River.
Well, I was gonna go three directions.
Okay, do
'Cause
that.
I love the Tennessee River. Gosh, it's a tough one. A jig. And then
Bandwagon. Everybody loves a jig on
and
the
then
Tennessee River.
Lake Seminole. I like throwing the old
I don't.
monster, Texas rig.
Old Monster Texas rig. Quarter ounce.
Quarter ounce,
Quarter ounce. Pegged or not pegged?
pegged.
Pegged. Not pegged with a little bit of slack in it?
Maybe.
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 Maybe. What about you?
Okay. Lanier?
Drop shot.
No, I gotta go with the fluke.
Oh, okay.
The fluke. That's definitely because of the versatility. I mean,
Love you,
there's
Miss
a lot
Pam.
of different flukes. You
Yeah.
can change that up a lot. Anywhere else, swim jig. I love a swim jig. Love a swim jig.
Love a swim jig.
On
Love
Lanier?
a swim jig.
What
That
about
too.
Lanier?
But I said everywhere else, swim jig.
That's a good question, Derek. We're going to have to figure that out. Who started the sweet bait craze? Don't say you. I'm just playing, dude. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Huh?
It was Beasley.
It was Beasley?
It was Beasley.
We're going to
Yeah.
claim Beasley.
Yeah.
We're going to claim Beasley. Nah, I don't. I know, the sweet bait's been around for a couple of years, but
Beasley's every fad that hits Lanier from here on. Beasley.
y'all should hear Beasley talking about skipping docks with the jig. He's like, "Oh, I love skipping docks with the jig. I like sliding that thing underneath there. It's so cool, man. And then I grab it." And I'm like sitting over here looking at him like, I didn't know the closest thing you got to a dock was when you took off from the boat ramp.
Oh my
I
god.
was like, the way he always talks about.
Being an offshore person.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
being an offshore person. Okay.
I love that. You
Alright.
cannot beat that when you just under
He
there.
just likes to fish, man.
I do like to fish.
Okay, what is your personal best largemouth spot and smallmouth? Because you said you like Tennessee River, so I know you've caught smallmouth.
Yeah, actually, my best smallmouth is probably only about 2 pounds. I haven't really,
Really?
gotten any big ones. No, I'm planning on making a trip up and fishing right below the dam down into Chattanooga with some jerk baits this February.
You need to go
So,
with all them when they go up to
St. Clair.
St. Clair.
Oh, that's
Yeah, that's June. I'm going to be busy here. So I may go up later in July. Personal best largemouth is about 10.5. Personal best spot's about 6.25
6.25 on Lanier.
on Lanier,
Where'd the largemouth come from?
Farm pond.
that's some
This-
farm
Yeah,
pond
I
fish.
got-
farm pond
two-
fish are
That's
juice.
some farm
I got
pond
2
fish.
over
They
10.
are.
My biggest freshwater like public water largemouth is probably about 8 from
Yeah.
chick, and I had a double digit one come off at the boat one day.
Ooh.
I mean, it was an absolute toad. It dwarfed the 2 10-pounders I've caught
That
and he
stings.
came off at the boat. And
That's
the
something.
guy I was with was like trying to fight with a net and couldn't get it, and I was fishing with like real light line and on a drop shot.
On a drop shot. That's dope.
Yep, that I had pitched, and it was like, and I caught it in the middle of summer.
Listen,
I love that drop shot.
listen,
largemouth
even
lakes.
It
even
was-
off camera,
that was a
Jeff's been
huge one.
talking about drop shot. When we go back to go doing a drop shot episode, I
Let's do
think we need to do this. We need to get you and LJ and Mr. Underwood all at this table together one night.
That'd be
Well, I know
interesting.
LJ does it, and I do it a little bit different than he does.
Yeah.
Right.
I definitely rig my stuff up a little bit different and have a little bit different philosophy.
But Kevin does it a little bit different too.
I'm sure
So
he
it'd be
does.
really entertaining to
I've
have
seen Kevin
your
do it.
philosophy
Yeah.
and your viewpoint on it, and LJ's,
Yeah.
which we all know LJ's viewpoint because he's already been on here like twice talking about it. But you know he throws little nuggets out about it all the time.
Kevin.
And then Kevin has like a couple different.
I know what Kevin does.
You want to elaborate?
Put him on Front Street.
No, I'm not. I let Kevin say what he wants to say.
Listen, we'll do that. We'll try to plan on doing that next summer
I
sometime.
think you don't have to take my word for it. Brett's got some stories and where he's just been in the back of the boat just shaking his head like, I cannot believe this kid just did this.
What about you, drop
I've seen
shot?
those pictures.
I like drop shot. No, I definitely do. But it's
Oh,
not. It's
LJ
not
and
my.
Sinclair.
It's not my go-to.
Maybe we should invest in a bigger table.
A lot
Get
of
more.
people.
Get more.
That'd be
bodies.
cool.
We're gonna set up a GoFundMe for all of you guys that are watching for a bigger round table instead of a square table. We're gonna
I'll
get
run a
round
guide
table.
trip for your GoFundMe for a table.
Watch what you say, or I might actually force you to do it.
Oh,
You
I'd
never
do it.
know.
I'd love to do that. I'd love
You
to
know,
take people fishing.
Bite Size Herring back in production as well. So we're talking about some baits and we're talking about big fish. So yeah, Bite Size Herring produces some big bites. So Jeff said what his was. What about you?
Biggest spot is 602 on Lanier. Biggest largemouth is 10 even on the Big O. 2012. And then my biggest smallmouth would have come off St. Clair and high fours. And I can't remember if Brant Kessler is watching. He can say I can't remember if I broke 5 or not. Close. Either way, it's a big spot. I mean, a smallmouth.
That's a big smallmouth.
Smallmouth, yeah.
That's a big smallmouth.
LJ's worried about all the secrets being out. He's been out for like 12 years on that technique.
Listen, we're just trying to make LJ feel like he still keeps secrets.
Well, I don't really keep a lot of secrets. Come fishing with me, I guarantee you. I'm not going to.
Well, in terms
I'll
of
let it
LJ,
rest.
we like to stroke his ego.
Oh,
We want to make sure he
He's
feels.
usually stroking his own ego.
And he's pretty good at stroking his own ego. I'll tell him that much. What about you, big boy?
Okay. Largemouth, farm pond, 10 plus. I mean, just a crusty old scale, but I mean, sitting.
Had to be.
Yeah. Sitting up well above 10. Lanier, well, spotted bass, but it was off of Lanier, is touching 5.5. And then smallmouth Lake Appalachia, well over 3, almost 3.5,
So here he is, what, 17, 16?
17.
And
He's probably already
Yeah,
experienced
he's
a lot
already
more than
raised
we
the bar
have
for-
it's like,
when we were his age.
nah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like-
Fishing is really like sped up.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Very much so.
yeah.
It's all the information. I mean,
Yeah.
all
Yeah, well,
it's
y'all
gonna-
got
if
all.
I'm
I
not-
mean, even I'm sure all three of us do too, because I know me and Brett talk, and me and Jeff starting to really get to know each other, and we talking. There's so much information at your fingertips now that, like, when we were growing up, like,
It's unreal.
I mean, y'all are older than me, but I mean, I'm
Well, you get video feeds every day if you subscribe. to
right,
channels.
exactly.
You know, you can be in the bathroom. You
Yeah.
can be anywhere.
And I'm
Breakfast.
guilty of it. I have a GoPro, and I have stuck on the back of my boat sometimes. People go out and have crazy days, and crazy stuff happens or whatever like that. They got it on film. You know, you got a GoPro back there on the back of the boat on one of those yellow tech sticks or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just if you can film it,
Yeah.
or you can utilize it in some form or fashion, technology wise, in terms of getting some kind of media, there's something to learn for anything and everything.
I
And,
mean,
that's just going to get more and more. as
Yeah.
time
It
goes
will
on.
be.
I get home from school or home from work and hours. If I'm not fishing, I am everything I can researching. I mean, I don't listen to music in the car. I'll listen to a fishing podcast. I mean,
And talking about
Anything I
that,
can.
and talking about that before talking about what Eric said before we answered Dog Talk 24/7's question, I want to say this: Jimbo and you are also utilizing it instead of being able to pull up a fishing report on the internet or on your phone. You guys are actually doing the whole video series
Correct.
once a week, right? So, and you guys, I mean, how long on average is one?
20, 30 minutes.
So y'all getting pretty deep into some stuff.
Yeah, no, I mean, he goes
a lot
into
of
detail and
information.
he cuts loose with some
Right.
very specific information.
So-
It's not generalizations on there.
So that's another way of getting information at your fingertips is subscribe to the what is it actually called?
Fishing.
Yeah, Jimbo's weekly fishing report.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it is how much?
15.
Yeah, it's like I think
A
it's
month.
15 a month.
15 a month. Okay.
Yep, and there's every Thursday he'll put out a report every Thursday, and I you know he's mentioned it a couple times too. I think a great thing is that him and I do fish differently, and
that's a lot of information.
and then
Yeah.
now so you're getting what he's doing, and then you're getting what I do, and I will make changes faster than he will.
Okay.
So and I will go try different things, probably a little bit, and I will fish more finessey than he will also.
This
Right.
guy can catch him on an egg beater as good as anybody you'll ever see.
Well,
So
Man,
catching fish on the egg beater. Scroll back up to Dog Talk 24/7's last comment. I ain't forgetting about you. Go down, come back down. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Right above bite-sized herring.
There it is. Damn. All right.
What are steady parts of Lanier this time of year? He's new to fishing the fall. Take it away, Jeff. Throw out some guide knowledge there.
I mean, I would say the three, and this would probably hold true at least from the way I fish anyway. Docks, 40 rocks, preferably, and then later on in the winter, the 45-degree angle bank rocks, and the ditches in the back.
There
And
you go.
there's a
Go to
specific
work.
thing that I look at in ditches, and I will say it'll come out in the future. But there is one thing that I will look for that's a little bit different than I know that Jimbo looks for. There, how I catch them too.
Do you want to elaborate or not?
No, it'll come out later on. I
Okay.
can't give it all out
I know
ahead
what
of time.
he's talking about.
Hey, I'm just trying to give you your platform.
No, I got you. I appreciate it.
Timing's
Alright.
everything, right?
It is. No, it'll come out. I guarantee you, it'll be out this winter at some point in time. I will let the cat out of the bag. But
So listen,
I'm going to go ahead and enjoy it for a week or two before.
So
talk
talking
about
about what he's saying. So for basically $4 a week, basically a little less than $4 a week, you'll get. There's typically four. Y'all
you
typically have.
get 2 hours of information a
Yeah.
month.
yeah,
for 15
2 hours
bucks.
of information
Heck
for
yeah.
$15.
And from two people,
Mm-hmm.
you get each of those. You put that together.
It's a great point. And back to what Jeff said, Jimbo fishes one way,
He fishes.
Jeff
one.
fishes a different way. So you've really got, like, if this is the fish bowl and you're going to fill it up with water, if this is Jimbo and this is Jeff, you're basically filling up the fish bowl in terms of knowledge in that bowl.
If Jimbo's watching this, there might be a price increase coming.
Well,
There is a lot of information.
there's a lot of information.
I mean, it really is. So, and him and I talk
Don't let us forget
daily
about
throughout
that.
the course of the week to get on to.
Don't let us forget about that at the end.
Yeah, we'll
We'll
cover
talk about
that
it
at the
at the
end.
end.
So.
So appreciate the answer. We appreciate you asking the questions. Dropped a Shimano Corrado DC on a Shimano.
Zodius.
Zodiac?
Zodius.
Zodius?
That's a good rod. I like that rod.
On Russell. Unfortunate, I should have had rod.
That hurts. That hurts.
Yeah, I can relate to that.
$400 combo.
This
Yesterday.
Ooh.
You did say that yesterday, didn't
Oh
you?
Jesus.
You dropped a couple yesterday, didn't you?
No.
Well, one was broken and
One was
dropped.
broke.
Well, one was yanked off the deck.
Can I honestly
I
say I've never
wanted
had
to
that
cry. I
happen.
wanted to, like, I literally sat down and wanted to cry. It was.
But he doesn't cry, so he didn't.
I don't cry. It
Well,
was.
he's an ex-Army Ranger. They don't cry.
No.
They beat the tears out of you when you first joined, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
brutal.
No suckers in the Rangers.
It's. Yeah, I may or may not have had a spot snatch a St. Croix Legend Tournament
Oh man, that
hurts, doesn't it?
with a
Man.
brand new Corrado
Ooh,
off the deck. I mean, it was gone like a lightning bolt. Pew! I'm like, oh.
that's kind of like
that your heart just.
That's
slipped.
kinda
Yeah,
like-
it was like an old one. I was emotionally attached to it. you
Oh,
know.
that's even worse.
Yeah, I mean, I wish it would have been my new one, and then I wouldn't.
Yeah.
But this was one I've had for.
memories.
Yeah, I mean, I've had it for probably 6+ years, and
You got your hand
Hey, my-
stain on
I didn't
it.
even get a chance to like even try for it. Like it was gone.
It's gone,
Like,
gone.
choop. I'm like, oh man.
My tournament partner that I fish with, Victor Oliver,
Yeah.
he lost 3 rods in 2 weeks
Oh,
last year.
that sucks. That's so.
In,
bad.
all on Lanier.
I can't
And
imagine that.
speaking of Victor, I want to say real quick, you guys out there, Victor's wife is flying to Kansas City to deal with some challenges with her mom. So, positive thoughts for Janita and the Oliver family.
Many of you guys, probably some of you guys watching, know Victor because Victor's around. He fishes pretty good bit.
Victor's a great dude.
Victor's a great guy.
Yep.
I have not
He-
got to
hell of
personally
an
meet
angler.
him yet, but I have seen him from afar,
Yep.
and then I also see him on Facebook with other people
Yep.
fishing. I know he fishes with you a
He's,
lot.
he's a great outdoorsman.
So yeah, just especially being that this time of year, Thanksgiving next week, Christmas just around the corner. Again, we're going to, by the way, talking about that real quick, we're going to still give a shout out to Josh's family for him losing his father-in-law, James. We really want to think about him and his wife and his mother-in-law. Really want to think about them because it's a hard thing to go through. I hate losing loved ones and family members when it gets so close to Thanksgiving and Christmas. I don't wish that on anybody.
No.
I really don't. Because it just seems like, I mean, it's never a good time to lose anybody, but especially like when you lose somebody. I know my grandmother, especially when she lost her mom a couple years ago. I'm fortunate I still have 2 grandmothers left and grandfathers.
Mm-hmm.
That first Christmas was pretty rough
Oh, yeah.
because we always would go down there to her house and we have Thanksgiving and
It changes
Christmas
everything.
dinner.
Changes
It changes everything. When something like that is taken away, it leaves a void that's really hard to fill.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
It is.
So thoughts, prayers, good vibes, everything to any of you guys who've been dealing with anything like that,
Yes.
and for anybody that we know personally. We'd have questions if you kept casting for it. What's that mean? Oh, okay. What were you doing? Dragging a rattle trap around Michael Temples?
20 foot, I'd go swimming.
I probably would.
It
too.
really-
45 feet, man. That's like,
I've drug a rattle trap. So
On the last cast, you drug it up. Well, I should hope it was the last cast.
yeah, we'd have questions if you kept asking for it. Yeah, you're right. I've lost 2 rods. One of them was by accident. One of them was stupid. Real quick, so I caught a fish, and I had one of them reels that had that flipping switch on it. And so I get up there and take that thing off. Oh, yeah, whatever. Pick the jig up, pick the rod up, click the button. Don't think about it. Flipping switch is on. I thought that thing 40 yards, dude. I mean, I was rearing back to throw it, and it's gone. I flew every bit end over end. It was in the lake. And about 60 feet of water is where it ended up because we were throwing a jig on a hump.
I felt bad last year. He lost another rod.
Jeff is losing this thing.
Up on
I've never-
Chicken
lose about
Chickamauga.
one a year.
Well, we fished all day on Chick one day, and we were pulling back into Chester Frost.
Uh-huh.
And, of course, I had to stop on the spot where Jacob Wheeler caught that 10-pounder in that tournament.
I've whacked them on that hump before.
Yeah,
I mean,
so-
spanked them.
We're done, but
For
I'm
hours.
like, we got to stop on this hump, right?
And a community.
And
home?
Jeff picks up his rod.
Okay.
Jeff picks up his rod and fumbles it, and it goes into 30 feet of water.
Hell, Jay said, hell, I lost a customer. He stepped right across. Come back. I need your money.
Yeah, I bet he retrieved it.
What happens when you go off the boat yourself, asking for a friend?
That's Kevin. That's Kevin Underwood.
Where? Which one?
What he said. What Jeff just said, talking about what happens.
When yourself goes off.
Yeah,
the boat.
when yourself
Oh, yeah.
goes off the boat.
Ooh.
So me and
Kevin Underwood almost did that with me.
Kevin's not Kevin. I ain't seen him watching. He might not be watching. So we're fishing, right? And Kevin's in the back of the boat doing something. I thought he was re-rigging something. I hear.
Oh no.
I turn around and look, and then here comes the head, pops up 10 feet from the right of the boat. He jumped in the lake. He just jumped off the boat, jumped in the
He
lake.
didn't fall. He jumped.
No, he jumped in the lake. But like when you're sitting there like focused on other stuff like fishing, and all you hear is behind you, and you turn around, and you're like, my buddy's gone, and then he pops
no.
up 10 feet from the boat, coming back up.
My son was with me one day. I guess he was about
Oh, I remember this
5, and we were in a little arm off of 6 Mile, and it was in the springtime, and he was back there just doing his thing, and I was sitting there talking to him. I don't know what I did. I fumbled, tripped, because I am a clumsy individual, and straight off the bow, in the water, and I come up, my hat starts floating away, and he's like, Daddy, and I'm like, I'm good, and he's like freaking out, and I'm like, I'm good, bud. I'll be in the boat in a second. He goes, your hat's floating away. I'm like, I know. I'll get it too. We're good.
What, were you in your old Skeeter?
Yeah, I was in my Skeeter.
Oh.
Right off
Did
the
you
deck.
just pull yourself up, or how'd you get in?
Yeah, I pulled myself
Yeah,
back up.
yeah.
It's not the first time I've gone off the side of the boat before. I'm good for one of those a year too.
Oh, yeah. I have a story about Kevin Underwood almost going out.
Do it.
Okay, so we're on. I found this spot in practice, and we were fishing a tournament together. I was cutting there with him, and I mean, this spot was stacked. I mean, some of the biggest spots I've ever seen in my life. And he's throwing a shaky head down a little ledge, and they come up schooling. So he grabs his topwater, launches it out there, and one starts trying to take his shaky head on his custom shaky head rod. So that thing's starting to go in. So he drops his topwater, but that thing almost falls in. So he's over the bow of the boat with just barely his waist hanging on the boat. Yeah, he was almost in there, and he has rods in his hands like this right next to the trolling motor, and that 360's getting in the way. I thought I was going to have to pull him up out of there, but yeah,
Wow.
he's almost been in the water multiple
Should have
times.
pushed
Yeah,
him.
why didn't you just push him on over?
Yeah, I could have taken trolling motor, went to.
It happens.
That's
It
pilot
really
rules,
does.
man. He's gone. That's your boat.
Oh yeah, I could.
Yeah, I ended up with my back. Yeah, Farmer told me this story when he was fishing last Saturday, ABA 125. Yeah, so I think we all had stumbling stories, so let's not really talk about it, because if we do, we'll be talking about it
Yeah,
probably for a
I
long
almost fell
time.
off my boat the other day.
I've got a couple of stumble stories that are pretty bad, and I don't really want to.
When I don't fish for like 5 days in a row, and then I step on that trolling motor, half the time I'm like almost over the edge. It's taking me a second to get used to it.
It does.
Oh, I don't know about that. So, for basically the last like 15 minutes or so, I want to talk about some stuff with Jeff. So, in terms of here you are, it's November 18th. If you got a client that's going to come out with you here in the next month or so, basically kind of just for a minute, kind of reiterate what kind of like a day with you is going to be.
I would say we'll probably start the morning with something moving, either on rocks or in the back of ditches, and then it's going to, depending on how the bite's going that particular day, it's either going to be in their skill level, it's either going to be dragging a jig or a worm, or it'll be probably a spoon or something, a fish head or something. Or then you just throw it out there and wind it back in and hope for the best.
Who do you like to take fishing more? People who are like highly skilled, or people who like don't really?
I like both.
You like both?
They're both rewarding in their own way. And,
Right.
And I was talking with a guy I had today, and I was like, I make a point to learn something from everybody that's in the boat, and whether or not they're a complete amateur. And I've had a 12-year-old son with his dad, and then I've had a husband and wife where the husband actually bought the wife a a trip for anniversary, but she hadn't fished in years. She just remembered doing it with her grandfather. So
Right.
and that's all. And I've had guys who were like really good too. So they're all rewarding for different things. I don't know if I necessarily enjoy one or the other. I enjoy teaching. I enjoy fishing. So
Okay.
it's a good mix.
LJ.
That's what I was on.
No, I think that was me. Was that me, LJ? I know I did that with somebody last year.
Did you do that?
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, it was
Oh, my
dark. It was dark. It was. I think it was a night tournament,
Dang.
and I pulled on somebody else's trailer, and I was like, "Oh, that's not my truck." Yeah,
Truck.
I don't have good vision.
How you not tell what the trailer is?
Well, you can't see the trailer; it's underwater.
Yeah.
The lights are on.
Yeah, I did it. I admit
That's
it.
Was it a nicer truck than you had?
I
Yeah,
don't.
just
I
go
don't remember
hop in
that
there and
far.
drive it.
Well, in your defense,
Trying to upgrade.
LJ
kidding.
has a black Silverado, and you
there's
have a black Silverado.
Yes, yes.
So okay. So my apologies, Brett. I will say that they both have black Silverados, so I can understand.
There's a question for Jeff.
I mean, you can bring 12 rods. I don't know if you're going to use all of them, but bring them on. Well, I'll go find something for you to
There's
throw them
space.
That's
out.
what I did with LJ.
I mean, you stack them in there like
I went
cordwood.
on one guide trip before, I think, and I brought.
There's a big deck on
It's
that.
hard not to, isn't it?
I can
Yeah.
put 7 reels or 14 rods on the deck of my boat and not have them crisscrossed. Just on the deck, not counting the rod ramp next to the passenger. I mean, there is a ton of room on that boat.
That is
Oh,
seven.
that's right.
That is 7 too many for me.
Really?
So, I'm not saying I do keep 14 on.
I'm
there, but
just saying,
it,
I'm
it
just
can
saying
go.
in
And if you get
general.
crazy and start stacking them, you can get even more.
Wasn't
And that's not
it?
even
Thank
counting the
God.
rod locker.
A tracker pulled up on my trailer, I almost pushed him up on the bed of the truck. So yeah, so like in terms of like that, like me personally, for me at least, I don't know about how Brett feels about it. I mean, you can bring however many rods you want, but I mean, I carry more rods in my rod locker than you can bring, really,
Right.
and be comfortable. Lanier can get a little wavy, though everyone knows that, and
It's a fast way to lose rods.
it's a fast way to lose rods, and it's also, especially if you got some plugs with treble hooks, it's also a fast way when you're going down the lake to get one in your hand, get one in your leg, get one in your
Scars will prove it.
right.
Scars.
Yeah, I know. You seem like you get a lot of hooks in your hand.
Hey, I don't know. Well, it was just one hook twice.
Did the braid trick? Or did you cut
Oh
it
no,
out?
there was no braid trick on this one.
Not this one.
No,
No.
no, it was to the shank on 2 of the 3 treble hooks. The PA was like breaking sweat beads tugging on it.
Listen, we just had enough exhales in here to fill up a tire.
That striper straightened out the split ring, thrashing.
I hate striper.
Oh, so he was attached to the other end?
Yeah.
Yeah, the striper was on the lead treble hook. My hand was on the back treble hook.
I still think the most painful
do
thing that's probably more painful than that.
Especially
But
that part of the hand too.
y'all remember when KVD grabbed that 9-pounder at Toledo Bend and he got it in his hand,
Oh.
and then he went to go pull up the live well because bass rules. You
Ain't got-
can't just put one in the live well without one. You got to
And they
limit.
the other one.
And he grabbed the other one with that hand, and then when he grabbed the other one, they must have touched, and they were like, "Ew, don't touch me!" And then all you see is that one about 6 pounds go like that.
Yeah, well, that's what happened. I was trying to. I was by myself, and I was trying. I didn't want to bring the striper in the boat, and I had leaned over and I was trying to just shake the single hook out with a pair of pliers. It was probably a 10, 12-pound striper, and it started thrashing, and I had my other hand was just resting on the edge of the boat for like balance, and it came up and it hooked. So I had the pliers grabbing one treble hook with the striper, and then the other one, and then he starts going nuts.
Hey, Paul, cue the lip
It was-
gripper advertisement right now.
My lip gripper was UPS had it. It hadn't shown up yet. Yeah.
I don't.
So I was.
I don't grab a striper unless it's got.
Well, that's why I had him over the side of the boat. I was just like, I'm like, oh, I'll just be able to shake this out with a pair of pliers. Yeah, no. Well, the good thing is I didn't have to figure out and fight with it because he went ahead and straightened the split ring out and then separated himself from my hand.
Ooh.
It was great.
Jonathan Farmer wants to know what end of Lanier do y'all use as your money run? Like for mine, he likes 6 Mile, Three Sisters, and Young Deer.
I would say the west side of the lake. For me, the west side of the lake, from Young Deer to the bridge.
Okay.
Is that you?
Yeah, I'm around there a lot of times.
Look at the camera.
a lot of times.
Don't lie.
I would.
You fish anywhere and everywhere, don't you?
I fish a lot of places,
Okay.
mostly on the south
You ever
end.
go up Chestatee?
I'll do whatever. I'll do whatever it takes.
When's the last time you went to Chestatee River?
A while. It's been a minute. It's been a dang minute.
You don't have to, do you?
No. I've been on them pretty decently, staying away from.
For those of you who are
Darn
curious, the Chestatee sucks. So it's the worst end of the lake.
Not always.
LJ loves you saying that.
I don't discriminate.
Chestatee Bay. I've caught some.
Oh, I've caught some.
There are more fish that help winning bags come out of Chestatee Bay than anywhere else in the lake.
So
There,
one
I
of
said
the
it.
one of the
I don't doubt
photographs
that.
that
I don't doubt
that
That's the first place I figured
that
out
I had
spring
posted
bait.
about 3 weeks ago
Just leaned
of
into
two
one and it was huge.
4+ pounders, both came out of a little pocket in Chesapeake Bay,
Yeah.
and they came within, I don't know, 15 yards of each other,
Man.
in a do nothing little pocket
Yep.
in about 12 feet of water.
That's the way Chestatee Bay gets, though.
It was awesome.
The Chestatee Bay area
Is
on Lanier is kind of like this culmination of like
everything.
everything.
It is.
Mhm.
Because
It's
Lanier
got-
fishes like 3 different lakes.
It really
the Hooch
does,
fish
yeah.
is one way, the Chestatee fish is one way, and the lower end fish is the other way. In my
But you're right
opinion,
about
for my
that bay.
opinion, for what it's worth.
Yeah. The Chestatee River sucks. So it's awful. So don't waste your time going up
That
Chestatee.
Chestatee Bay. I feel like sometimes it gets to be a lot.
Not the Chestatee Bay. We're talking
I
about
know,
the Chestatee
you're talking
River.
about that. I'm just saying there tends to get a lot of people in there. I mean, Chestatee
Well,
Bay.
it's small.
Yeah. Everybody kind of gets in cloud. That's when I don't like it. That's when I'll stay away. But man, I like that stuff. There's a lot of time. There's this dude in a Triton. He has a bunch of like hummingbird stickers on it, and it says like Lanier Baits on the side. He always gets up there. He's kind of annoying to try to fish around. He's always trying to get on my spots. I think he's trying to fish everything behind me.
If you could give a guy advice on what ramp to put in and go catch some good fish on Lanier this weekend, where would you tell them to go, Jeff?
Charleston.
Charleston. Brett, where would you go?
Big Creek.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on what side you want to, the lake you want to enter on. But I would say,
He said what ramp to put in.
I'd say the south end.
I love Van's Tavern.
Vance Tavern's a good one too.
Yeah, it depends on what side of the lake they live on, but
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't drive across the lake to launch when you can just launch and just run across the lake.
Can I come cut that tree in the back of your pocket so I can get to the other tree in the back of your pocket?
I catch spawners back there from the shore. You kind of don't want anybody getting back there.
Listen.
So you know about that tree, huh?
LJ, what position is the pontoon right now?
Oh, I went rolling through LJ's dock.
You know about LJ's dock?
Oh goodness! Oh my
He
god!
gonna kill me. LJ's dock's one of my holes.
That's
It's got a
big.
it's got a massive beaver hut underneath it.
Go figure. Oh, I love beaver huts and docks.
Yeah.
The older the dock, the more
God.
dilapidated the dock, the faster I get.
I've never
The
caught a.
problem is a lot of those are going away.
I'll whip
Those
a
old
I'll whip a
docks are
boat off
disappearing.
plane so fast it'll make your head spin. I mean, I'll break a neck if I see a dilapidated dock that I haven't seen before.
He's about throwing me out a few times.
I got one. And some people might
He
know
just said it. My dock is loaded. So
Yeah, he
I'm
did.
thinking,
I got one that's in the Chestatee Bay. What does it say? It's in
an
the-
older dock.
It's in the Chestatee Bay. It's a half
General
sunken
vicinity.
dock. That's got a whole entire beaver hut inside of it and about 15 feet of water.
Oh yeah, that's a jig special.
It's in the very, very back of a pocket, and if you pull into that pocket and just look and you don't see it, you'll be like, oh, ain't nothing back there. You got to bend around the corner. You got to actually go back there. Anyway,
Since you're talking about LJ's dock, I never caught a fish under
facing
that dock.
out, he said, thanks, appreciate it.
Never caught a fish under his dock. Around it. Bigs.
I skipped a horny toad underneath it this past May, and about a 4-pound spot come out from underneath your pond.
It's always big spots in there.
It's
I haven't
always
caught a
big
big-
spots.
I've caught a big
That thing
largemouth
chased that
around
horny.
there.
I skipped that horny toad
LJ
underneath
says there's a
LJ's
big
thing, and it's
largemouth
coming
that
out.
lives there.
Hang-
There is a
He's
big.
not
There is a
doing
big
anything
largemouth.
anymore.
He's not doing that. He ain't. Dude, that fish is.
Yeah.
That fish has been
It's a
jerked
cat.
on.
I saw.
That fish has been jerked on. I've watched that. It's a female, and it spawns every year in his cove.
Yeah, he told me about that.
Listen, there ain't nobody that can catch that fish. That fish has been jerked on way too many times. You'll throw up on if it's up there. You'll throw on the bed. You know what she does?
Nothing.
She gone. She's like basically is like,
You are right,
oh,
Kurt.
someone is here. And then she leaves until I guess she looks for the
Henrietta.
shadow is gone.
Henrietta.
Oh, then I'll go back to my bed.
Henrietta's the big lip that he's got.
Oh,
That Henrietta, yeah,
Yeah,
that's the
I've
big old lip. that
I've
lives
never
in
caught a
there.
largemouth out of there. 4-pound spots. They're plentiful.
I've caught some largemouth.
I've seen a school
Biggest
of 'em.
largemouth I've caught on Lanier came out of, technically it was in the Chestatee, but it was
Okay.
just right north of Chestatee Bay, off a dock in about 20 feet of water, and 100-degree heat on a jig.
I caught a.
in July,
Early August,
August.
Oh really? I caught.
in the middle of the day. I mean, it was
Feed her
we were
cheeseburgers.
baking like lobsters on the deck of the boat. I mean, just straight bacon, and it was
8
My-
pounds, 2 ounces, August, Yellow Creek.
Your biggest off Lanier?
I caught a.
And I'm talking there was probably 300 brim underneath the stock.
Oh, that'll do it. I love those fish. When you see those
The
brim,
coming.
when you throw that swim jig and the brim are behind, oh my god.
Well,
We're coming.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
well, I caught it on a black blue jig. Be honest about it. I caught it on a black blue jig. The water probably had about 1.5 foot visibility, but you could see the brim the way that the sun was coming, and the thing up underneath there, underneath the walkway, and the brim said, and then all of a sudden the brim go, and then about that time they said, it said,
it's lights out at that point in time.
yeah.
Man.
That's why the brim left, because she was going to it. They were going to it, and she come to it. She picked it up, and all it was just one. Thump. Set
That's
the
how-
hook, and
that's
I
how
said,
a big-
Oh God!
That's how big largemouth hit.
Yeah.
I love
A big largemouth
inhale.
is not going to hit it like a freight train. Not
They're
going to
not.
happen.
It's
They're
At
not.
least all the big ones I've caught, it's always just been a real.
You caught any?
that light bite and you.
Did you catch any schooling this year?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It just seemed like there was more and more and more have been schooling on the main lake
Largemouth?
this year. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I caught
Coming
I
up with
caught a few.
schools.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Caught a sizable one August, young deer.
The brim coming right. What size and color jigs are you going to use right now? Well,
5 ounce football jig.
what kind of jig would you like? Color are you going to use right now?
I maybe a crawl patternish, but if I just had to pick one and throw it year round, it'll be a peanut butter and jelly, and I'll throw it year round.
Okay.
Peanut
What about you,
jelly
Brett?
on Lanier.
I like brown with a little blue
Mm-hmm.
and a little green in it.
Okay. What about you, Beasley?
I gotta say probably 1/2 ounce football jig. Gotta get your little orange little crawl color going. Oh, I like getting through those rocks.
Okay.
Throw a
I
crankbait.
throw the arc head with a
Turkey head.
I'm not a
3/8 ounce, and I mean if
3/8
it 3/8 ounce arc head, and that's
Really?
if there's
That's all you
one
need.
if there's one jig for that lake, whether it be docks, deep brush, rocks. I'm a fan. My philosophy toward, and I've talked with some different people about this, is give me an 80% solution that works 100% of the time, and I don't. It's one less thing I have to think about.
Yeah.
I don't want to try to over dissect and overthink some. Give me an 80% solution that works 100% of the time, and I'll roll.
So all of you who've been watching us, who've been graciously watching us, you have heard Jeff say that twice now. I say he lives by that slogan because he said it earlier. He just said it again now right here at the end of the show. Listen, it's been fun. The Lanier Smoke from True Grit, yeah, it's good. Listen,
color
I'm running out of that material, by the way. So better get them when I got them because I don't know when I'll get more. So we want to talk about this real quick. Do you want to say this or do you want
Yeah,
me to do it?
I'll cover it.
Okay, so Jeff is going to talk about this, and I will lead into this by saying we at True Grit Tackle and Fish North Georgia will be at Jimbo's Expo, and we will also be doing a live show. And we would love for all of you. Now, last year,
That's what
COVID really kind of took a hit on it because people really wasn't wanting to get
Right.
out and about. This year, things are a little bit better. I know COVID numbers are still on the rise again, but I mean that's like it is. It's going to. Listen, guys, it's going to be here. It's going to be here
It's
forever.
not going away.
It's not going away. But we need to just try to live our lives the best we can. Let's not live in fear. If
But
you-
with it going back to the Lanier Conference Center, it'll be better for most people.
It's not so. Yeah. So last year it was at the Gwinnett Civic Center, and this year it's going to be at the Lanier Conference Center at
Which is
Lanier Tech.
where it was 2 years.
2 years ago, and they had a pretty good turnout.
Really good turnout.
So listen, so we're going to be there. I'm going to be there. Danny's going to be there. Josh is probably going to be there. Paul's probably going to be there. He's choosing like, I don't know. Paul will be there, I'm sure. So as you look down on the bottom of the banner right there going across, we got Jimbo Southern Outdoor Fish Show Expo, January 14th, 15th, and 16th. Jeff's going to be there.
I'm going to be there.
What are you going to be doing while you're there?
So I'll have my booth. I'll have some information set up, and I will. I'll have going to pitch a class or two.
Okay.
Pitch a class or two.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's something I enjoy doing, like I said before. And I haven't decided 100% on what I'm going to teach, but I'm kind of leaning towards. A lot of people struggle with reading contour maps. And I spent a lot of years teaching a lot of people how to read contour maps. I mean, and
that's going to be some juice. You guys need to come listen to that.
Yeah,
I think you should do that.
Yeah, I mean, if there's one thing that I feel
Yeah.
of the people that are going to be there, everybody has their specialty, you
Right?
know, and in me trying to find like my niche, I would say I can read a contour map with the best of them,
That's
just
awesome.
based off what I've done.
This past month, I could go off of just a contour map, and my best days have almost always been I could have literally only went out there with a map
Yeah.
and had those days.
Yeah, and then there's another couple things, and I think I mentioned it on one of Scott Barnes' posts too. But I'll talk about some as far as GPS coordinates, how they work, and I'll probably incorporate that into and why the four of us can have the exact same coordinates plugged into our units, and all four of us have a different dot show up on our map.
Okay.
So it's not well, yes, it can be because of where your GPS sensor is, but there's something else to it that you gotta it's something that
And
lot of
being
people
a
don't know about.
ranger, I guess you probably.
Oh, we would use that little technique to catch people cheating on land nav.
So you got to come to the seminar to.
So come to the
Busted
seminar.
every time, plain as day. You could tell. I'm like, you had a GPS. How do you know I had a GPS? Because I set this course up to know if you had a GPS. You had a GPS.
Ooh.
Oh man,
Jeff was catching people. So
yeah, but yeah, I think I'm going to lean towards the map reading and then some of waypoints.
I think that would be
That's
awesome.
pretty
So guys,
good.
something to look forward to. January 14th, 15th, and 16th. Like I said, we'll be there. Jeff's going to be there. Jimbo's going to be there. LJ's going to be there. I'm sure Jimbo's going to be having some more releases of different booths and stuff coming up.
he is. He's working on it every day,
And he's working. I know he's working hard on getting it because I know
Gina's
he wants to
working
do
on
it.
it.
Be good.
and I think Janet, my wife, is even getting.
There you go.
Yeah, they're bringing her in because she's got some experience with event planning and stuff like that. So they're bringing her in
When
for that
she's
too.
super smart.
Shout out to
so.
Janet
Yeah,
Nail.
and
Thanks.
she's like the genius.
Shout out to Janet Nail. Thanks for letting Jeff come tonight.
Yeah, it is. She's sitting home alone,
Oh.
probably wondering, playing
Well-
with the cats.
Well, she's sitting home alone, and it's 2 hours and 2 minutes into this thing. Jeff, listen, we appreciate it. You're welcome back anytime.
I appreciate
we
it.
Hope you come back. Hope you come back and come be on the show again. Brett, as always, love having you.
Thank you.
When Brett is
Keep it
probably
in
going to be like an insomniac, and he's probably going to text me tomorrow. I'll be like, I hate you for making me up all
Well, I
night.
have to be in Rockmart at 9:30 in the morning, so I'll have to.
Oh
He loves
Lord,
it.
we
I got
got
to be on the
coffee.
lake at 7, so you're good.
we got to get Jeff and Brett home. As always, thank you, Eric. Appreciate you being here.
Yeah.
He's one of our fan favorites. And as always, we thank Paul for doing everything he does. He is the man behind the camera. Big shout out to Paul. He is the man. Guys, we really appreciate it. If we don't talk to you guys
Go
next
Dogs.
week, go Dogs. If we don't talk to you guys next week, we hope all of you have a happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy it with your loved ones. Eat a lot of dressing, turkey, ham, all that kind of good stuff. What?
Michael
Actually,
Temples.
Give us one more quick thing here, let's go around the table quick. Brett, you got any sponsors or pro staffs? Anybody you want to plug real quick?
Yeah, let's do
Yeah,
that.
and if Pam and Mike Shepard are watching by chance, I apologize. I couldn't get you guys on my shirt, but love Georgia Blade, and you make great products. But we also have True Grit Tackle, obviously. Phoenix Boats.
Yes, sir.
Mercury. Pulse Fish on the back. Lanier Baits. Is there another
Shake
one?
it. Shake it.
That's
Is
it.
there another one? That's
Shake
it.
it.
That's it. That's it for me. Thank you for letting me do that.
Anybody you want to give a
Follow
shout
on
out
social
to?
media, where would we look?
Yeah, we're back. You're
On TikTok, Bass Fishing Live.
yes. Go follow Brett.
And then also you can find me on YouTube, the same channel.
Go hit up both. Go hit that. Go smash that like button. Go subscribe. Go do it.
Please.
Do it.
Please do.
Do it. What about Jeff? You already got your Facebook page.
Yeah, I got my Facebook page.
Shout it out one
J2
more
on-
time.
J2 on Lanier.
Go hit that like button. We got to get him over 1,000.
Anything else?
Anything else?
No,
Phoenix
I
boat?
don't really have any. I,
First half floats, nothing like that?
no, I'd roll by I fly by the seat of my pants. We're good.
That's the way.
I don't
to do
have
it.
any. That way I can use whatever is catching fish, and I don't have to discriminate, and we can roll from there. So,
There it is.
yep.
Just a few more days left, by the way, too. Jig month 10, TrueGritTackleCompany.com. You only got a couple more days to November 30th. Come get them. Come get them, guys. I've been making them every single day. Come get some. Order some. Do something.
Fill your hands.
Fill your hands. I'm telling you what. If we don't talk to you, guys, have a happy Thanksgiving. We love you. We appreciate all your viewership. And again, we like to thank Jeff again. Thank Brett again. Thank Eric. Really appreciate it. Guys, have a good one. We'll talk to you later. Peace out.